the I'm a Fan of podcast, music, comedy, and more.
CAIN, welcome back, man.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Not much, dude. Thanks for reaching out. Before we get too far, you said you got a big show coming up you want to plug, right?
Yeah. January 11th, I'll be headlining the Addison Improv.
Dude, congratulations.
Yeah,
Is that the second time you've been headlining now?
So technically, the first headlining show, it was an Anne French show.
Yeah.
That was at the Arlington Improv.
Okay.
I mean, it is headlining, but it's not like the full 45 to an hour set. It's kind of more of like a showcase. This is like a full-on headlining show. It's just host, feature, and then me.
Wow.
At 45 to an hour.
Well, congratulations, man. Good luck.
Thanks.
It's going to be a good. I mean, I see you working hard. First of all, I've seen you. I was flipping through your Instagram, and I didn't realize how many of these big names you've been getting the opportunity to open for over the last year.
Yeah.
So this last year's been pretty awesome for you.
Yeah,
man.
it's been good. It's been really good.
I would imagine your set that you're about to do is reflecting that too. So that's going to be pretty exciting to get to kind of take all these chunks you've been working on and piece it into a longer thing. That's cool,
that's the thing. I've done 45 minutes once before, but it was just like a random Sunday night at Big Laugh. I went last on the lineup, and they're like, just go as long as you want. And I was like, all right. I just wanted to see if I even had 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So I just did everything that I could think of that I've written throughout the years. And I was like, okay, well, I definitely have it. I just need to structure it now. So
that's exciting, man. Well, dude, when is it? What day was it again?
January 11th. It's on a Sunday, January 11th at 7 p.m.
I might be able to make that one.
Addison Improv.
Addison Improv, man. And that's such a good spot. Well, oh, no, you said you did it at the Arlington Improv, the Anne Friends.
The first one.
I was going to say that's kind of like home field advantage, but you've performed on that stage so much, you got to feel pretty comfortable there.
Yeah, no, I love Addison. That's it's honestly it's hard to say what's my favorite club, but that one's definitely one of them.
Yeah,
if I were to go back and forth, there's maybe 2 or 3 names that are my favorite club, but Addison's up there.
Yeah, there's a little magic to it.
Yeah,
it's hard to put your finger on what it is, but it's even when I just go watch shows there's just a vibe to it that's nice. It's good. Yeah. But speaking of clubs, the new one, you went to Punchline.
Punchline, yeah.
Dude, tell me all about Punchline.
Punchline's great.
This is Irving, Las Colinas?
Yeah, it's right next to Toyota Music Factory.
Okay.
Yeah, so they had their soft opening this past weekend. And I think their first official opening day is going to be, as time of recording tomorrow. They're opening with Dave Chappelle.
Yeah. That's crazy.
It's going to be cool.
I went to get tickets for that, and they were $300 each, and I was like, "Sorry, Dave."
I was in the pre sign up queue.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm not going to take my lunch break at work. I was like, I'm just going to get these tickets. I was like, it's a comedy club. How much could the tickets be?
How much could they be?
They started at $250 each. And I was like, that's before taxes.
Processing fee.
So I was like, I'm not going to pay close to $600 for 2 tickets.
No. Like I told you, we got a new baby at home. It's like, we got daycare bills coming up. I can't drop that money, Dave.
No, and congrats, by the way.
Thanks. Yeah, man, it's exciting to think about a new club and a new room for you guys to have to perform in.
Yeah.
And then just something... as a fan, I like the idea of just a new person coming in and kind of shaking it up with the existing clubs and hopefully a nice, positive, competitive way. Nothing crazy.
Super nice.
And it's also in an area that doesn't have. There's no club over there, right?
No, there's
so
no.
it should be. It
but
should be a great addition.
I think it should because there's also a lot of foot traffic in that area because it's a little shopping center and it's across the street from 4 or 5 different hotels that I'm sure that people travel there for business or whatever. Because what other reason would you have to stay in Irving or Las Colinas?
Yeah, well, I think the other. You're right. You're dead on.
So,
but I think the other reason though is if you're in Irving or Las Colinas, I don't think you want to drive to Dallas and Fort Worth that often.
Yeah, that as well.
On a Friday night. I think you're thinking about the because when we're coming from Dallas, if I want to go to Fort Worth, there's a couple big spots where you're going to hit crazy traffic.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure it's the same way over there where they're like, it's got to be somebody really good if I want to make this drive. And now it's close enough they can make it work.
Yeah, they can just go out there.
Yeah.
No, I think it's going to be really good. Security is crazy.
What do you mean?
It was difficult for me to get in, and I was performing that night.
For the venue, or is it part of a large complex or something?
Well, because they're owned by Live Nation, so they have basically concert level security to get into a comedy club.
That's probably good.
It is. Yeah,
I've been to a few comedy clubs where fights have broken out in the crowd, so that's probably good.
No, yeah, it's definitely better. Yeah. But as I was getting in, I was like, this is crazy. I've never gone through this much. Getting wanded, patted down, empty your pockets. I was like, oh, this is crazy.
Wow. I saw you put some pictures up of like the green room and stuff.
The green room is so
Were those
nice.
records that they had in there? Is that what I was looking at? Like a stereo system?
Yeah,
with a
they
vinyl
have
player?
like vinyls, and they have a bunch of like comedy albums, and then they have a TV, like a big flat screen where you can see like the stage. The green room is huge. It has like 3 couches in there.
Wow.
Coffee table, like full coffee bar, water bottles.
Dang.
Restroom in the green room.
You would think that would be standard.
Yeah, no, not at all. There's some terrible green rooms there.
But I mean, I've heard of local clubs here where like they'd been open for a long time and they didn't even have a green room for the longest time. And they like had to like patchwork one together. And they were having like big headliners coming through.
Yeah.
So yeah, stuff you take for granted. I guess that's the bonus of having a big chain opening up in your area. It's like they kind of got it all down. But I don't know. I'm waiting to see how it fits in. What I'm really waiting to see is the comics who love or hate it based on how much they get to perform there.
Yeah.
You know, like if they're like, oh, that place sucks. It's like, oh, you got to perform there? No, they don't let me perform. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Versus,
Well,
you know, I'm performing there a lot and I love it. You know?
It was really cool to get in, you know, even just invited to be part of the opening weekend, which, you know, it was basically just like an audition for local talent.
How did that work? Did they all reach out to you guys or did they have like an open sign up or something?
So the dude that is, I guess he's like the big booker of that place. He lives in Vegas, but his name is Ron. And I met him a couple months ago because he was like in Dallas, like just scouting talent. And he was at the last time they did the show at the Kessler Theater. He was there watching that.
Wow. So this guy lives in Vegas?
Yes, but he works for Punchline.
Yeah, but I'm just impressed that somebody working for this club who lives in Vegas would be coming to scout things.
Yeah,
like that makes me like them more.
Yeah,
knowing like
well,
you're putting in the effort.
When we were there, like pretty much all the people that were there were like people that work at other Punchlines. Like he flew in from Vegas. There was another lady that flew in from Philly. Someone that flew in from like San Francisco, San Diego. Like it was like them. Like they really wanted like the club to be like ready and put together. So I thought that was cool.
That's promising.
Yeah,
You know, because like it's I don't mean this in a horribly negative way, but it's just going to sound like that. But anything that's opened up where it feels like it's got a little bit of a corporate vibe to it,
yeah,
you worry that it's just going to be some cookie cutter thing. We have our formula, and it's not going to mesh well with the local scene. Like it's like, hey, we got our roster of people we're going to send through, there, and we don't need you. So it's nice to hear that they're aware of how much blending in the locals will benefit everyone.
Yeah, no, it seems like they're putting a lot of like care into it, and I do think they care a lot about like local talent because they had 4 shows and all of the lineups were stacked.
Wow.
But that's so I met him that night because I went to the Kessler Theater that night to actually meet the booker of the Kessler Theater. And as I was there, one of the comics there was like, hey, you know, the booker for the new Punchline is also here. So I got to meet both of the bookers of those 2 places that night. And a couple weeks later, after I like added him as a friend on Facebook, he had posted in like the DFW comedians like group page and was like, we're looking for new talent, email, you know, short description of yourself, you know, a video link, and we're gonna like look over everything. And so, I mean, he had like the format laid out of like what he wanted. I'm pretty sure everyone submitted. And then about 2 weeks ago, I started hearing rumbling from people in the community being like, hey, did you get an email? Hey, did you get an email? And I didn't get an email. And so I was like, oh, maybe I waited too long to submit. I was like, whatever, you know. I wasn't like super worried about
fuck
it.
that club.
No, I didn't feel that way because like I was like, I don't know. In my heart, I was like, I'll get in eventually. Like whatever happens is gonna happen. I don't feel like any place is like outside of the realm of reality.
Right.
So it was just like, if I didn't get in on this like first weekend, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's a good way to be. I feel like it's taken me a long time to even get close to that mindset where you go like, you know, things are just going to happen the way they're going to happen.
Oh, this is new.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good that you're going that route.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you do what you can do. You take care of what you can take care of, but ultimately it's out of your hands.
Yeah.
So why stress too much? Just do the stuff. It's going to happen when it needs to happen.
That's what it. Yeah. This is. I want to say a year old, but honestly, probably a couple months old. Where I'm just like, whatever happens.
Yeah. Do you feel better working that way?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's a lot of less stress. It's more like grateful for like the opportunities I do have.
Yeah, it's not part of like a mental break or anything, right?
No,
like you're not snapping or anything.
Not anytime soon. I hope not. Good. Yeah, well, you'll find out.
Yeah. Well, it'd be good for your comedy. Maybe
people will talk. Yeah. You'll have people on here talking about it.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so I didn't hear anything from them, and then so I did the first show on Friday of last week, Thursday, the day before, at 11:30 at night, I got an email. And I didn't see it. I was in bed already. And I woke up randomly in the middle of the night, like at 3 a.m., and I just saw I had an email from like Texas bookings at whatever. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Live Nation.
You're like, is this a scam
I
email?
did feel like I had to go back into my like sent emails and see like where I submitted the first one. And I saw it was the same email. I was like, okay, this is them. And they were like, we have spots available for the like soft opening. We would like invite you to be a part of it. Like, are you available? Respond ASAP. And at 3 a.m, I was like, yes, I'm available.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can be there by 4 a.m.
The next day, I was at work for like the first 6 hours just refreshing my email, being like, all right, are they going to write back? Are they going to write back? And eventually they did around like noon that Friday. And I was like, cool, I'm on the show tonight.
Man, that's awesome. It's just nice to hear them thinking about locals.
Yeah.
You know, and to your point about like not getting your email when other people's were getting them. One of the things I've noticed with this podcast is you just forget how many people here locally are doing comedy.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm from here. So I can't imagine if you're not from here trying to figure out, okay, who's the talent around here that's consistently working, that's worth reaching out to. I mean, how do you even know?
Yeah.
Are you going to go through every clip on social media? Are you going to ask one person who their favorite 30 comics are or something?
Yeah, because everyone's going to give you a different answer.
Yeah, and everybody's version of who's good and
well, because if you ask most comics like who's good, they're gonna tell you their friends.
Yes, that's what I was going to say.
They're not going to tell you like
the people who've
actual,
helped
like,
them get on shows,
right.
not necessarily the funniest people. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And even if they do tell you who they think is the funniest, that's also subjective, you know, to like their humor lens.
Mm-hmm. One of my friends, he texted me today about whether or not comedy is like a young person's game. You know, can a comic be funny when they're 40, 50 years old? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then I was thinking about it more, and I was like, yeah, you know, a lot of the greatest comics currently that are hitting it big are in their 40s or 50s, and they've spent the last 20 years honing it.
Yeah, most comics just get better with age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like he had a hard time accepting that. But trying to explain to him that where you guys are right now, grinding, getting to that point, that there's just this massive pack of people here doing that.
Yeah. I think what happens is in a lot of people's head is like that grind period is like, that is technically when you're working the hardest. That's when you want it the baddest. So that's when like it feels the most like raw and relatable. But you do all the great comics all the comics will tell you like you just get better with age. And like the people that are like 40, 50 now are way better than they were 20, 30 years ago. Yeah. But just like from a standpoint of like relatability, yeah, people are going to prefer like your first stuff. It's just like with artists when they have like that first album and everyone's like, oh, I love that first album. And then everyone's like, oh, sophomore slump, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think it's the first album you're exposed to. Yeah. So if you love this band or comic or whoever, and it's the second thing they put out was the first thing you heard, that might be your favorite. Yeah. Because I think you don't know their bag of tricks yet. Yeah. And it's so it's all like hitting you fresh.
Like I didn't come up with them in that journey.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I was thinking about it too, man, because I think, and you can correct me too, but remind me how long you've been doing it now?
I just hit my 3 years.
3 years. So I don't know if it's time in comedy or maybe younger versus older, right? Because you can be an older person starting comedy. So I don't know if it's time in comedy, but I do think what makes the comics that are great and more relatable is the maturity. I guess whether it's in comedy or whether it's their age, because I feel like your first comics or your younger comics, they're doing more maybe like quick jokes, quick observations. Oh, this was funny, that was funny. Whereas by the time you settled in, you're going maybe a little more longer format instead of trying to clump these things together.
Well, because it's also lived life experience.
Yeah, I think they don't have enough life experience yet to go draw on this one topic and draw it out for 45 minutes or 20 minutes. An hour of 3 20-minute sets versus just 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
I feel like that's something that I feel helped me was the first time I ever did stand-up, we talked about this last time, was when I was 18. And I kept getting into arguments like with my dad. And that's why I stopped doing it. So I only did like 3 or 4 open mics over the course of like 4 or 5 months. Yeah. And it took me like 7 years to actually like get back on stage and actually start doing it, which that was 3 years ago. But I realized within those 7 years of not doing it, I needed those 7 years to actually like live life, to actually have some experiences, you know, get a girlfriend, get broken up with, move out, move back in with my parents, you know, all of that stuff. And I also needed the experience of having a job that I go to every single day and realizing that if I don't change anything in my life, that I'm going to have to do that job every single day of my life. Because that's what drives me now.
It's a motivator.
Yeah. If I'm at home and I'm like, I don't want to get up and go to this mic, I'm like, okay, I guess you just want to work here forever then. And I'm like, you know what? I should get up.
Even when you have a good job, right?
Yeah.
It could be a job where you're like, I know I could do this job the rest of my life, and it'd be a good life.
I'd be very comfortable doing
But
my job for the rest of my life. It's just like, I want this.
Yeah,
you know?
and we live in a world, a country where you don't have to just survive.
Yeah.
You know, you can thrive. You can try to do more, even if it's just an artistic passion. It's like you can do that. So why not? I totally get that. I was just talking to a coworker the other day. They had a thing. They were like, you know, I finally got a little money set aside. I want to do this thing, but it's risky. And it's like, well, is it going to bankrupt you? Is it going to ruin your life? He's like, no. I was like, well, then you got to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be 70 years old going, if I just pulled the trigger, if I just tried it, you know. And I can't stand people that just kind of hem and haw over a decision like that for years. It's like, just go.
Yeah.
Go, fail, mess it up. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, because even if you mess up, you're like, well, at least I did it.
Yeah, well, and you grow so much from just trying things, period.
Right, and
just
you learn
things.
what went wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because think of the version of you 7 years ago, or even just 3 years ago, you know, coming back into comedy. The growth in that 3 years has been pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
What do you think has been helping you out? Again, you know, you're getting 3 years in, and I noticed you're getting these great opening spots for big names.
Yeah.
And I mean, funny aside, like I know you're funny, but there's lots of funny people. Like, what do you think has helped you in this 3 years to kind of move a little more aggressively than others into these nice performing spots?
I'm just aggressive.
How so?
I'm not afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're gonna either get a yes or a no.
Are you asking the comics, the club,
everyone,
all the above?
Anyone I can. Yeah. I almost got a guest spot for Godfrey the other day.
So like two that stuck out. I really like Brian Simpson. Saw you worked with him. How did that show come around for you?
I heard that Brian Simpson was going to get booked at Dallas Comedy Club, and I just put it in everyone's ear for the next couple months. Like, wow, Brian Simpson's going to be here. You know, that'd be cool. You know,
at the club.
Yeah,
just walking in the hallways.
Yeah.
Woo! Y'all see that Brian Simpson show's coming up.
I mean, I wanted it. I like him. I'm a big fan of his. And then I was actually told by two people that work in the office there that I was going to be on the show. Day of show, I hadn't heard anything from anybody. And then so I just showed up because I was like, well, I got told I'm going to be on the show. And then I get there and they were like, oh, you're not on the show. They're like, we got his like writer in saying there's a 2-man show, just him and the feature he's bringing in. And at that point I was like, well, you know, I tried everything I can. It is what it is. But then Kenny, who works at Dallas Comedy Club, was like, well, let's wait till he gets here and see what he says. And once he got there, he was like, okay, so y'all booked him to be on the show, like to host? And they're like, well, yeah, we did. And then he was like, Brian, just being cool, was like, okay, well, then he's on all 4 shows.
Nice.
And I was like, oh, thank God, you know. And
but let's not gloss over that. Just by showing up.
Right.
You know, because there's a lot of people who would be unsure. I didn't hear anything. It's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
And they would have stayed home and missed that opportunity. So literally by just going up there, being prepared to go, I'm going to show up to be told no, and I'll just go back home or I'll just watch the show if that's the case, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it was.
And that got you 4 shows.
Yes. Yeah, hosting the whole weekend. And, yeah, it was basically what Brian told me was like the reason that he said, like, you're on the shows was he's like, you know, at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to take any time away from another comic. You got booked to host these shows, even if my paperwork didn't say that or whatever the case was. He's like, because not only, like, he's like, basically what he said was like, when a club books you to be on a certain amount of shows that weekend, that's not just them booking you to be on that show. That's also them booking you to not be on any other shows.
Right.
He's like, so if, you know, you would have been told like, no, you don't have any shows this weekend. He goes, and that's just not like right with me.
Cool dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he's cool just because the interviews and stuff he's been in and his stand up, but it's nice to hear when the curtain's pulled back, he's still cool like
cool
that.
as hell.
Yeah. But again, just literally just showing up.
Yeah.
Got you 4 spots and a potential next time Brian's in town kind of thing, you know? Who knows, right? That's exciting, man. What about did you perform with or just meet Nardwar?
Oh no, I just went to his like in person.
Oh, okay.
Like he's doing like a tour where
because as somebody who interviews people,
yeah, no,
me,
love
me, as
Nardwar.
someone like me, that's an OG. Like you can learn a lot of tricks from.
Yeah, no, that's the guy. He was I saw that he was going to be at Texas Theater, like doing his video vault. It's just like him showing some of his favorite clips of like interviewing
I didn't know he was doing a tour like that.
Yeah,
That's
I
incredible.
found out about it. I forgot how I found out, but I was like, I got to go to that. And it was just him giving like the backstory of like how he started interviewing, certain behind the scenes stuff like that.
Because he started really young,
Yeah.
right? Like, I mean, I want to say maybe a teenager, right?
Yeah. Well, his
Okay.
mom was a reporter in Canada. She was on like TV on the news in Canada at their
okay.
local station.
Wow.
And so he kind of just like followed in her footsteps.
That's so cool.
But yeah, after the show, well, before and after, they had a meet and greet.
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't care how long it takes. I just need a photo with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, and if I'm lucky, I can get a video of him being like, hey, I'm here with CAIN. Doo-doo-doo-doo. And so I do have that video.
You did?
I just haven't posted it yet
Yeah.
because I was waiting until the Addison show got announced.
Yeah.
So that I could use that as promo.
Oh, awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
put it out for sure. He seems like he'd be a super nice guy to meet.
Yeah, I was trying to like talk to him a little bit after, but his team was being very aggressive of like moving the line along.
Well, Texas Theater, that's a big crowd.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of people to work through there.
And I asked him a question, and he was trying to answer it, but his team was like, "Hey, you got to go." And as I was walking away, he was still like trying to like answer, like yelling at me, like getting off the stage.
What
He
was the
just,
question?
What did I ask him? Oh, actually, I asked him. I was like, "Hey, I know you interview musicians mostly." I was like, "But I have seen you've interviewed a couple comedians before, like Aziz Ansari, Seth Rogen, stuff like that. Like, what determines like whether or not you will interview someone?" And I didn't really get like a clear cut answer, but it was mostly just like depending on where they are. He's like, because wherever he lives, like if they're in that area, he'll message them.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Proximity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many of those fun things like that really do come down to, am I just near where you're at the time where we can make
Are
this
you
happen?
in town? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and you're seeing that now, like as you're getting bigger.
Yeah. And that was one of the things that he was like really pushing to when we were talking about like being aggressive and just going after what you want. He was just like, if I am in town and I want this interview with somebody, like I'm going to do everything I can to get it. And that's, I don't know, that's how I feel about a lot of things where it's like, if I don't have any shows on a weekend, I have the list on my phone of all the clubs in town, and I'll go to every single one of their websites and be like, who's in town this week? All right, I'll DM them, be like, hey, I'm a local comic. Can I get a guest spot? Like, whatever. It's okay if not, 90% of the time they go unanswered.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Craig Robinson messages you back.
Yeah. That was another one I forgot.
Yeah.
Where did you work with him at? What club?
Addison.
Addison.
And
yeah.
that was at a Sunday night, and it was the Sunday late show, which I didn't even know they did those, but he does.
Yeah.
And so that didn't start until like 9:30
Holy
at
cow,
night.
Sunday?
On a Sunday night. And, I have to be at my job at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
the next day.
Yeah.
I was at Addison Improv till like 1:30 in the morning.
But worth it.
Yeah.
You got to
Well,
do
because
it.
I get to work the next day and I'm
Yeah.
tired, but like as soon as my boss is like, hey, I need to do something, I'm like, you know who I was with last night?
Yeah. Well, and what a great way. Like, hey, why are you dragging ass? Oh, I had to work with Craig Robinson.
You seen The Office?
You know,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. He kept me up late.
Yeah.
Late show. Does he bring the piano to every performance, or was he
Yeah.
doing stand up?
No, he does piano songs the whole time.
God, he's on a bucket list of someone I really want to see. Just
Yeah.
'cause,
He's great.
obviously I love him from the TV shows and the movies, and so he's basically doing like a little bit of his character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but on a more aggressive level. Like he's doing more of that, right?
Yeah. Well, I think his character from Brooklyn Nine-Nine is just like him.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's similar to that. That's what I was hoping is, you just forget how talented that guy is.
Yeah. I
until
mean,
you see
he
some of
was
those.
a music teacher before
Yeah.
he did comedy. So
I know you've seen that famous clip from one of the Tonight shows where he's doing "If You're Happy and You Know It."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does that at the show.
Oh, he does. Okay,
Yeah.
we won't ruin it then. But yeah, just that that kind of freewheeling. Like you can tell he's got a script, but you can tell he can just cut loose at
Yeah.
any moment with it, and he's that talented.
Yeah. No, he's
Yeah.
great.
It's crazy how a musical comedian, it's almost like a magician or a ventriloquist, where that line of cheesy and hacky is so fine, but like once you cross over it and you're that good at it, it's incredible comedy.
Yeah, it's one of those
he's definitely
things
one of those.
Like, you better be real good at it if that's what you're doing.
I mean, really think about Jeff Dunham with the puppets.
Mm-hmm. And he's one of the highest paid comedians in the world.
Right? And then think how many other people are attempting to do that, and everyone's just like, fucking loser. Yeah. What a loser.
This guy thinks he's Jeff Dunham or something?
Yeah, you know, and it's like just making dolls at home, and people were like, is he a serial killer? No, he's trying to be a funny person, you know?
I forgot who it was. It was Leslie Jones. She was telling a story of like what's the guy's name from The Hangover? The doctor, the Asian dude.
I know who you're talking about. Oh my gosh, yeah, the guy who jumps out of the car naked.
Yeah,
what is his name? Because he was a real doctor turned actor. It's gonna drive me crazy. Anyway, everybody knows who he is. Though.
Is it Chang? I think that's his last name.
You know, as a white guy, I just don't want to go.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't want to run that risk.
Yeah.
I don't want to start throwing out stereotypical Asian names.
Maybe that was one of his characters' names that I'm just remembering. But Leslie Jones was telling a story of like she was hosting, I think it was an open mic or it was some mic, and it was like one of his first times like performing, and she said that she saw him with a guitar and she was like, oh my God, like this motherfucker or whatever, right? And she was like, I was not excited about it. She's like, because I just like hate it. Like, you're coming up here doing musical comedy, it's not good. She's like, but it was so funny that I got on after her and I was like, if you're gonna bring guitar, that's how you fucking do it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Have you seen I wish I could remember his name. There's a guy who's basically doing improv music through his whole thing. He uses auto-tune. He gets the crowd singing with him. You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, Morgan J.
Yeah, I think so. Let me look it up and double check. I wanted to hate on his act so bad when I first started seeing some clips of it, because I was like, oh, here we go. But I watched his one of his little specials that he put out where it looked like he was, I think maybe even in like a music studio, and he had the crowd in there with him. And I was like, you know, I literally, like, when I hit play, I was like, let's see this hacky piece of shit do something lame. And won me over within, like, 2 minutes. And I was like, oh, okay, this guy actually has something fairly original, even though it's in the vein of, like, maybe like a Bo Burnham, but it's nothing, it's not the same. It's just different.
Yeah. No,
and just the amount of audience participation he gets where it doesn't become the same boring thing was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But another rare find of music comedy that works.
Yeah, he's good. If we're talking just like music comedy in general, I love Bo Burnham.
Yeah.
I also love Dimitri Martin.
Yeah.
And so it's like those two, for me, I'm like, that's like the gold status.
I didn't realize how many other comics that are famous hate on Dimitri Martin.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard, I'm not going to drop names,
Yeah.
but it's some of your more aggressive comics who are like, maybe a little snobby about the comedy world that are super popular right now, and hearing them talk shit about that, it's like, I thought that guy had a totally original act.
I love
that was
Dimitri.
catered to his personality. No one's like that.
Yeah,
you know, even just the little flip charts.
Yeah,
it's like you can.
Dimitri Martin's great.
Yeah, it's like I guess you can make fun of that because you hate prop comedy, but it's not
not
really
even,
a prop.
Not a prop, and most people, like, there's so many people today doing like slideshow comedy. It's like, what is the difference? Like, if anything, that's way worse.
And how long ago did he start doing that?
Yeah.
That was a very original, unless it's just one of those things where there was a really old comic I've never heard of that was doing it. Maybe it's cycled
I think
through
a lot
again.
of those, like, more older comics that are, like, just, like, very much into the art form are kind of just against the idea of, like, any alt comic getting, like, to that level.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know, if you're Dimitri Martin, you can tell how hard he worked on that, that act, that character, you know, the just the weird glances and looks to sell all these awkward jokes.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's why I love someone like a Bo Burnham too, because like his whole act is like to the T, like timed out perfectly.
Yeah. I really like him, and I still think I don't even fully understand his act.
Yeah.
Like I think some of it's still going over my head, and I still love it. Well, I didn't know him on his earlier YouTube stuff when he was real young. I caught him whenever it was one of his first. They're not even stand-up shows. It's like a one-man show, I guess is what you'd call it. It's whichever one. He had the piano and he'd go back and forth between little different bits, but it wasn't super high production yet.
Yeah,
and
that one was what?
Yeah, he had that joke where his dad was saying he's gay or dramatic, and he throws the glitter out of his pocket. Yeah, okay, that one.
That one's what?
And that one sold me because I was like, man, what a clever fucking
That was
dude.
the one that sold me too.
Okay, but then he really blew me out of the water when he started doing the high production musical parodies on that second or third one.
Make Happy.
Yes.
That one
where
is
he's doing
so
the Kanye
good.
Chipotle
Yes.
burrito thing.
That special is so good.
And you just realize
And he talks
the
about
levels
real
he
shit.
has
Yeah.
of we're joking about a burrito, making fun of Kanye, who's crazy with depression, but also we're actually seriously addressing Bo Burnham's depression and hatred for himself. But it's all silly. And just him controlling this full light show, and he's leaning down, controlling the audio effects while he's doing it. And I was thinking, like, he replicated the Kanye show perfectly. And it's somehow not cheesy. It's funny and entertaining and interesting.
You know what's funny too?
Deep without being pretentious.
He said in an interview, like, obviously, he loves Kanye, and he went to the Life of Pablo tour, which I don't know if you know anything about that tour, but it was the one that had it had a floating stage.
I remember that,
and it was a bunch of like moody orange light with like smoke, and he directed Chris Rock's comedy special Tambourine. Bo Burnham
did?
Yeah. Wow. And he goes, if you watch that special, it's all Life of Pablo orange lighting.
Well, I knew he did Gerard Carmichael's.
Yeah.
And I saw a random YouTube video. I wish I knew who made it. It was just some random kind of critic of like cinematography that was criticizing how comedy specials really look ridiculous. And just talking, like he used an example with Norm Macdonald, how Norm Macdonald is a deadpan club comic. Why do we have him coming out on this theater stage with crazy lighting in a suit with his name and giant letters behind him? This isn't Norm Macdonald's vibe. Yeah. And it's because everybody feels like they want this big theater thing, this theater look. And I don't know if that's Norm's decision or whatever, but just saying that that's a really shitty way. It doesn't capture his comedy, basically.
Right.
And talking about how you could add a little bit of cinematic style to increase these specials, the way they impact you, the way they hit you. And he was using Bo Burnham and Gerard Carmichael's, is it 8?
Gerard Carmichael's
special is, I think it's 8.
The one that Bo Burnham directed was, he did direct 8, and then he directed the other one after that, Rothaniel.
The first one then, because it was just shot just beautifully. Yeah. You know, it was just a different style and look. It didn't cut in with that big intro of like, welcome to the stage, and everybody cheers and show the crowd, show how you're so awesome, and you sold out this big room, like all that kind of. It's like a hacky way to film comedy. Everybody does it, and his just looked so good, and that has really stuck with me on how I want to try to approach filming things. I don't have those budgets they have yet, but, but it's
insane.
It's just in the back of my mind because when I found out Bo Burnham did it, and I saw that after I watched his COVID special Inside. Yeah. And that was just each one he's released that I've watched, Bo Burnham, I was just like, God, this guy's getting better and better. Yeah. Because he was doing all that with a average camera that anyone could buy. Yeah. And all the lights and shit looked like they were somebody made a list of everything that he used throughout the whole thing. All the lights, all the stuff. You can find it on like a Reddit subthread somewhere. Yeah. And it's all shit you could just buy off of Amazon because it was COVID. So he was just getting stuff shipped to his house and making it all work. Yeah, it's so cool. Incredible, man. It's it's just truly somebody being locked in a room and being like, I got to figure this out. Yeah, and he did. Yeah. There's some hilarious shit on there. And it's the only I never thought I'd be so grossed out by him poking a water bottle into his belly button. Do you remember that? I don't know if you remember that scene. It was like a weird workout montage. Yeah. And he's like pushing it in his belly. I was like, I don't know why this grosses me out, but it's disgusting. No, it was really, I remember watching that during the pandemic. Because, I mean, I was a big Bo Burnham fan at that time. And so when it announced, like, oh, something's coming out, it was like, oh, fuck. Like, what's it going to be? I wasn't ready. Yeah. I didn't think it was going to be that. I didn't know what it was going to be. But I was like, is this going to be like him doing just like stand up in his house? Mm-hmm. It was, yeah. Yeah. Like the YouTube reviewer where he's going into like 10 frames of reviewing himself over and over and over. Just all the little things. Anyway, he's incredible. But I forgot how he went down this Bo Burnham path, but it's all good. Yeah. So who I would not have guessed Bo Burnham would be one of your kind of influences, but yeah, who are some other ones? Well, that's what's crazy is like we were talking about Dimitri Martin and like Bo Burnham. I love alt comedy. I just don't
really like do it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people like love the things that they feel like they can't do. And that's how I feel. Like Mulaney is probably like my top guy.
Definitely more of a standard comic.
Yeah.
Standard style, rather.
Yeah.
But hilarious.
But his writing is so like quirky and goofy.
Yeah. Well, you were talking about life experience earlier.
Yeah.
Some of his greatest bits, that's what it is. You know, when he was going through his alcoholic phase
Right.
and, you know, the incredible What's New Pussycat?
Yeah.
Jukebox Waffle House bit or whatever.
Yeah.
All that. I mean, incredible
No,
stuff.
Mulaney is the man.
Yeah, yeah.
I love.
He's one of those I do think about because he's still incredible, but I worry, you know, when you get to like your third, fourth, fifth thing, because people already know your style, that they take for granted how good you are now.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, he's probably going to do something like that. Like, I know his voice, I know his cadence a little, and I do wonder.
He's one of those guys that truly I feel like every album has been like better than the last.
Yeah, but I think I get too comfortable with him. So it's like, you need to impress me, Mulaney. You know, like it's like it's undeserved that I feel that way.
You already know he can.
Yeah. It's because I love Bill Burr, and it's subconsciously I think it's the same way. It's like, well, Bill, is this going to be better than the last one?
Yeah,
of course it is. But I think even people you love, I think I get stuck up about it.
Yeah,
which is weird. You know, like Pete Holmes is another one.
Pete Holmes is great.
He's hilarious.
Pete Holmes.
Hilarious. And I feel like, you know, I was listening to him in like a recent podcast episode with someone, and he's still funnier than he's ever been, but I just know his rhythm now.
Yeah.
And I have to remind myself, you know, like, hey, don't be a prick. Like, this is really funny.
Yeah. No, I didn't become like a big Pete Holmes fan until after I saw Crashing.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this guy's hilarious, you know?
Hilarious and just always coming at it from an angle that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, I don't want to start just doing Pete Holmes bits, but yeah. Funny dude. Funny dude. Crashing was incredible.
It's really good. I need to rewatch it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a show, like if you're doing stand-up, you should watch it like once a year.
Yeah, I think as a fan, you should just watch it too. To understand the layers that go into doing all of this, you know? And like the little thing I think about a lot about that episode is when he's, you know, into the girl that he's going to stand-up shows with, is Allie. Mm-hmm. And she just, the simple thing like, hey, just film my set for me. And then he's like trying to do the laugh to like make and it fucks up her tape. And she's all pissed out. It's like, damn, the guy's just trying. But it's such a funny scene where you know that's had to have happened so many times to someone, you know. And these clips that y'all, like that was even before you needed clips for social media.
Right.
You know,
she was trying to submit a tape
to a
like
booker or something.
To a booker. Mm-hmm. I had a friend one time. I was like, I got a guest spot on a big show. Mm-hmm. And again, just reaching out. Concrete and Jerry Garcia were performing at the Fort Worth Hyenas. And I just DM'd them like I do like randomly to people. And they both responded. And they're like, yeah, come on, get a guest spot, whatever. So I had a friend come out with me, and she had like this really nice video camera. And I was like, please record my set. Like, this is going to be a good crowd. Because, you know, we were talking about like favorite clubs. That to me doesn't equate like best club to perform at. Yeah. The best room in DFW is Fort Worth Hyenas big room. Mm-hmm. That is the best room. If that room is sold out, you're getting bigger laughs than anywhere else.
Yeah. Almost every comic I've talked to that has performed that room, that's what they say.
That room is incredible. Like it's just everything's right. The ceilings are the right height, the room's the right size, like the way you're centered in the middle, it's perfect. And so I was like, I really want some clips from this show. She comes out, she films it for me. It went super well. We're like riding this high driving back to Addison. I'm like, hell yeah, this is going to be like crazy clips. Yeah. I get the SD card. The next morning, I go and put it in my computer. She recorded it in slow-mo. I don't have any footage from that show.
And you can't pull it off slow-mo?
No.
You can't speed it up or anything?
Nothing. I tried everything.
How long in? Because there was one time I was listening to a podcast, and it was a Kill Tony episode, and I didn't realize I'd hit like the slower speed on my phone. Yeah. For about a minute and a half, I thought they were doing a bit where they were purposely talking slower to each other. And I was like, geez, they're really dragging this fucking bit out. And then it got weird. Like the next performer started doing it, and I was like, oh shit, I got the time.
Yeah.
So how long were you watching that until you realized something was off on it?
Oh, it wasn't like regular. It was like super slow-mo. Like, like you know how like they have the slow-mo guys on YouTube that have like the high frame rate per second? Like, it was like that slow. So immediately I knew something was wrong.
How long until you hit her up and was like, hey, can you fix this? Can you do something?
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she had to feel terrible, I bet.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't upset.
Yeah.
Again, like what I said, like it is what it is.
I know. I wonder how you have a nice camera like that though, and you forgot to check that. I mean, because how often are you using the slow motion setting?
I think what happened was as she was setting it up, she probably like slipped and like pressed the wrong button or whatever.
And that's why you can't get too stressed, right? Because it's always going to be that. Like the moment you think is going to be incredible is the perfect time something's going to fuck it up.
Right. And that's like one of those things where it's like, it's an accident, whatever.
And then on the flip side, the moment you think this is going to be nothing, is probably going to be that really awesome moment. Yeah. And it's better just roll with the punches, man.
Yeah, it was one of those things where it's like at the time I was like upset at the situation, but I was like, this is hilarious. Like,
it's funny, man. Like, come on. Of all the things you could have thought that would have went wrong, you would never guess slow motion.
Yeah.
I was trying to talk to Michael Pasvar about that before we recorded him, because he's been working on that set for maybe like 14 to 18 months. Mm-hmm. We talked about it well over a year ago about like, all right, man, you need to you got to go and perform this and really tighten it up. And if you think it's shitty, cut it out. And he really took that seriously. And so he's nervous. He's putting in all this work, all this time. And, I always get nervous too because we don't have this huge budget, so we're not doing 4 takes and picking the best stuff. We got one shot here.
Got one shot.
And I like that energy. I like that pressure. But also I understand that if something messes up, it's terrible. And trying to relay that to him of, hey, man, we just need to go into this with the mindset of 1, 2, 3 things are going to really screw up, and we're just going to have to roll with the punches. And that's just the phase we're in of my production capabilities, your performing capabilities. Something bad's going to happen, and we're just going to have to go with it. And like, knock on wood, nothing happened during the performance, but I think it's just better going in with that attitude rather than like, if one thing goes wrong, we can't do this.
Yeah, you can't stress about shit because like stressing and worrying is not going to solve anything.
Yeah, it's probably going to cause one of your problems,
right?
There. Yeah, or
just make things worse. So it's like, hey, we can be upset about this later. We got to fix this now.
Yeah. My fear was just I had all these extra lights set up to try to make it look good for camera. The live show lights are easy, but just trying to make it look nice on camera. And it's like I put all these sandbags and things on the lights, but you're still paranoid, like, God, if one of these falls over and cracks someone in the head, like in the middle of the performance or something, this is going to be horrific.
That'd be awful.
Yeah.
I don't want to...
if tomorrow people find out that I was the one that made Kenny Lee lose his eye when something fell over.
I don't want to tell Parker's story, but I know while he was filming his special, he had a lot of hecklers.
That sucks.
And he was like, hey, this is a live taping. Like, I'm filming this.
You're
and putting
fucking
this
me right
now.
now. Yeah, I mean...
And credit to him, his special came out great.
Yeah. Clearly, he was able to work around it because you don't catch any of that in there. So that's good. And there's nothing that looks like a really hard, weird edit either. Yeah. So I will say it makes me... because we recorded Lawrence's in a club, and Pasvar's was in a theater. I say theater, it was like a 200-seat small theater.
Yeah.
But the second experience was way better, and part of it was the crowd control. Like, the people that we had there were there to see him.
Right.
Versus potentially just people who are coming in just for a comedy club.
Yeah.
And so unless you are bigger where you can sell out those tickets and sell out the room, and they bought tickets to see you, you're running that huge heckle, risk.
Yeah. Because heckle risk, and also just like the audience not being your audience.
Right. Yeah. And then, we even still had problems with, I don't think it's going to come out in the audio or anything, but I think we made like 2 or 3 announcements. This is being recorded. Turn your phones off. Turn them on silent. And you still get like a text message ding or something. It's like, what the hell? Come on.
At the punchline.
And these are people who are rooting for you,
At the punchline show, as soon as I get out on stage, a lady's phone rings in the audience. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I'm trying to audition here right now, lady. Like, I'm trying to get past at this club that hasn't even opened yet.
You're going to find out later that it was the booker doing it. Like, he's like, let's just see how he handles this.
Let's see how he handles it. No, I told her, I was like, well, pick it up. I think it's for me.
Did you, knowing that you've put time in now and you're capable of going on stage and being funny, did you feel any extra nerves knowing it's essentially an audition for this new club?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I get still get nervous for bigger shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's just like a showcase on the weekend, like nothing's, whatever. I'm just like, whatever. I look at it like as a workout set. I'm gonna try some new stuff, whatever. But yeah, if there's like something that I feel is like bigger magnitude, I get nervous.
Did you think a lot about which bit you're going to be doing?
Yeah. There was like 4 or 5, no, probably like 6 or 7 people that went up before me, and every single one of them was like, "Do you do dirty jokes? Do you do dirty? Like, how dirty? Did they laugh? Like,
yeah. What did you decide to do? Dirty or clean?
Dirty.
Yeah. Okay.
Because
well, they're not advertising themselves as a clean comedy club, right?
No, but just a lot of clubs will also just like to know that you have that, which I do, but I don't feel like that's like my strongest material. I just like, not to say that I'm a super dirty comic anyways, because I'm not, but I just write whatever is funny to me at the time. And for me right now, for the past like 2 months, dirty stuff has been very funny to me.
Okay.
And it's been working really well, to the point even where like certain times or clubs where they're like, hey, don't do anything like too dirty. I'll like be like, well, I'm just going to try this joke and see what happens. And then it murders and they're like, okay, well, that one was fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's the rule, right?
Yeah.
It's not allowed, but when it's really funny, everyone's like, well, okay. I go back and forth on the clean comedy thing because I do clearly time and place, and then there's comics who kill with clean comedy. But, people will go, oh, clean comedy's harder. That's why you should learn it. And then you want to have the tricks in your bag if you need them. But I recently was revisiting the Greg Giraldo albums. Have you listened to any of those?
I haven't listened to any of his albums before. I know Greg Giraldo is hilarious, though. I watched him a bunch growing up. Yeah,
and so that was my mindset is, I was like, man, I remember him from when I was younger, from like the roast and these things. And I know he was one of my favorites, but I didn't get to experience a full stand-up set of him ever. And so I went back to listen to the 2006 album, Good Day to Cross a River.
Yeah.
And he's fucking filthy.
Yeah.
And his premises are childish and filthy and just, the language is all over the place. It's 2006. We're using so many words that we're not using now. And I just remember when I was driving, listening to this, going like, God, this is so much fun. This is so much fun. And just being reminded that, like, no, there is a time and a place for filthy, dirty comedy. Yeah. And it's absolutely hilarious,
I grew up loving Lisa Lampanelli.
Yes.
And she is gross. Just disgusting. Filthy. And to middle school me, it was like, this is the best thing in the world. Like, let alone, like, me and my friends don't even talk like this, but, like, I've never heard a lady talk like this,
Yeah, and it wasn't... It's weird because I'll see, just speaking of like ladies talking filthy, right?
Yeah.
It's weird because there was something about the way she did it too, because you'll hear a female comic, specifically like younger ones that are maybe like 5-6 years in, where they're really funny, they're doing fine, but they'll say these gross, filthy things, and it almost feels like you're throwing it out solely for shock. Like, I can't believe this person would say that. But there was something about Lisa Lampanelli where it didn't feel put on at all. It felt like, I bet this bitch talks like this every day of her life. And I don't know what it was that made her seem more authentic, but it didn't seem like... It was shocking what she was saying.
Right.
But you never felt like it was shocking for her.
Right,
if that makes sense.
It was just like, that's just who she is.
You were just like, damn, she did it again. It was never like, of course, all right, she's going way
Lisa
outside.
Lampanelli is great.
I don't know what gave her that kind of power or what it was. The only other person I think who gets a little close to that is who's the really popular woman? She hosted one of the big award shows recently. Nikki
Glaser.
Yeah, I feel like she's dipping into that a little bit.
Yeah,
Nikki
Glaser's hilarious.
Yeah,
Whitney Cummings as well.
Yeah, but Whitney's, I like Whitney a lot too. But I feel like she's always borderline where the shocking stuff. I wonder. It's like, well, I don't know if I believe you. Even though I love listening to her interviews, I like her personality, I like her comedy. Something about Lisa Lampanelli's shock was just more natural.
It was
maybe?
Authentic, yeah.
I don't know, yeah.
That's one of my biggest things is just like authenticity.
Like with Whitney,
feel it.
Whitney, I like when she's neurotic because I believe she's really that's her.
Yeah,
like she's crazy.
Yeah,
and she owns that. I guess maybe that's more of what I think is real with her. But not to say it's bad. I would watch her stand up any day of the week. I'm gonna go buy a ticket. What were you saying though? Sorry.
Ali Wong, just another one that will just throw some gross shit out there.
Well, what made you feel like getting dirtier with these last couple months? What was the change?
I don't know, just whatever would pop into my head. I'm like, oh, this is funny. I'm going to try it.
Like life changes or anything that just started?
Not really. It was just like I just write whatever I find funny, and that was what I was finding funny at the moment. And still now, like
yeah.
I
wish I knew what it was. I'll find out in January, I guess.
Yeah, there's nothing. I don't know. That's the other thing is like I never feel like my stuff is like too crazy. It doesn't get terribly out there to the point where like clubs are like, hey, you can't do that.
Yeah,
and maybe this is biased, but I feel like I do it tastefully.
Yeah. We'll be the judge of that. January 11th or 12th. What was it?
January 11th.
January 11th.
111.
Yeah, we'll find out just how disgusting it is.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
That's exciting though, man. I still think that's just so impressive. Less than 5 years, and it feels like you're advancing rather quickly.
I'm trying to. Like I always say this as a joke, and like I don't mean it in a negative way. Like obviously, like I enjoy my time that I'm doing in stand up. Like I love it. I love stand up so much. But I do like jokingly be like, yeah, I'm trying to speed run this shit,
Yeah.
Like not saying like I want everything to come to me in its perfect timing, but I'm doing everything I can to make it happen.
When I don't talk about what it is specifically, but the career I do outside of this, it's one of those where you can have like a full-time job and then you can have like a couple part-time jobs where you can like drop in as needed at different places. And that's what I did when I first got out of school. I got like 4 jobs working crazy amounts of hours. And it's like, yeah, I might only be in this for 2 years, but I've been doing 80 hours a week. So it's really, I got 4 years on you right now. You know? And I think that's kind of what you're getting at is like you can aggressively pursue these things and speed it up.
Right. The only limitation
because the minutes on stage are really what you're trying to accumulate.
And it's about, I don't agree, and this is maybe just my opinion, it might be some controversial to some other comics, but like I don't agree with the whole mindset of like doing every single mic possible.
Yeah.
I'm more of like a quality of mic person. I think, me personally, in your first year of doing comedy, you should hit every single mic you can because your goal at that point is just getting comfortable on stage. Your goal is learning how to perform to a room where no one's paying attention, perform to, a room where no one's going to laugh. You have to do all those shitty bar mics. You have to get those nerves off. But once you figure out how to do that, you shouldn't have to like go back to like I don't see the necessity for me to go to a bar mic now where everyone's watching the Mavericks game and no one's listening to my jokes. For me, like the point of me writing new jokes is to see if crowds like it. So I want to go to a mic that has a crowd. So I'm not hitting as many mics nowadays, but like when I do, I feel like I'm like actually testing material. And like going into this year, I was very much like my mindset was like bombing with intention. Like I'm gonna go up there, I'm gonna do everything new that I have, and we're gonna see what works. And if it's bad, then it's bad, so be it. But by the time the weekend comes, it won't be bad anymore.
Bombing with intention. I like that. Did you hear somebody mention that?
No.
There's something kind of came up.
Well, I mean, I watched kind of what made me do it, which like everyone knows like the idea of like you do mics so that you can test jokes or whatever. But I saw I don't know if you saw it, it's on Showtime, the 5-part like Comedy Store docuseries.
Oh, no, that sounds great, though.
It's great. And in one of the episodes, they talked about Richard Pryor. and how he would have like zero material, and he would just go up at the Comedy Store and just bomb for an hour straight, had nothing, but he would do it every single day. By the end of the month, he'd have a full hour that was murdering.
This was when he was already Richard Pryor, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, like, I saw that and I was like, oh, well, that makes sense. You know, he's like actually taking his material, evaluating it, being like, oh, okay, this didn't work, this did work, let me try this, let me swap this around. So it's like, yeah, if you do that, of course you're going to figure things out quicker.
Yeah, he also had the luxury though if he was already Richard Pryor. You know, if you go onto too many stages right now with no material doing that,
no, I don't go up.
It's
with
pretty
no material.
risky. You know? Yeah. But I mean, it is pretty. There's musicians that are like that too. Like, well, you and me both like Jack White. Mm-hmm. He does his concerts that way. He'll go up with no set list.
Yeah,
and he just maybe he knows a couple ones that he likes to open with, and his band won't know what he's doing either. So he tries to keep it kind of in the moment.
Yeah,
let's feel the crowd, similar to how it's stand-up. But to go with nothing, I couldn't imagine. I
couldn't do it.
I'm going to go up with no song written, and we're just going to find our way through it real quick.
No, and for me, it wasn't even like that. Like, I'm going to go up with no material. It was more of the idea of like, you can keep doing this over and over again until it's good. Yeah.
Well, and that's one of my not gripes, but maybe one of the things I feel like I want to encourage, like what I see whenever I go watch a bunch of shows, is people experimenting. Like, I would like to see people experimenting with their set more or with new material more. I see a handful of people where they just lock in on something and it's like beating a dead horse, and they think it's just going to get funnier because they just keep saying it the same exact way.
Yeah, no, you got to change some stuff.
And, just maybe convincing themselves it's the room or the crowd or the night or what. It's like, no, just one person who I think is really good at that is, I haven't seen him in a while, but when I was watching, there was a stretch where I saw him for a couple weeks in a row, just at different mics and different shows, but was Ryan Perrio. Mm-hmm. He was always just tweaking little things, tweak on all. And it would literally, I went from, I was over in Fort Worth, so I was like, well, I'll go see this open mic at the time that was it was either Mass or Twilight, and then went over to Mad Hatter to catch the next one. And so a lot of those same comics went over to the Mad Hatter afterwards. Yeah. And most of them, it was staying exactly how I performed it there. I'm doing it here. He was one of the few that had serious tweaks to see, like, okay, let me try this way or that way. And so I've always liked him a little more after that, knowing that he's putting that much effort in just adjusting material for two open mics that don't even matter.
Yeah,
But
see, like, that's the point. Is it's like getting that information.
Yeah.
Of like, okay, they liked it when I did it this way, or they didn't like it when I did it this way. There's certain jokes which, like, I'm trying to think of any examples. I don't have any examples off the top of my head where like I know for a fact that just like adding one word or changing a word or switching the order of how I said things made the joke work.
Yeah. Do you listen to Mark Norman and Sam Morrill's podcast ever? We Might Be Drunk. They just did the Jerry Seinfeld episode. Yeah. And they got real deep into that.
Oh, really? I have that saved. I haven't listened to it
It's
yet.
good. They're even talking about how just mispronouncing a word on purpose because it sounds funny.
Yeah.
And the crowd, like, I'll let you enjoy the whole episode, but Seinfeld was talking about how he had a joke that talked about SeaWorld, and he was just purposely mispronouncing SeaWorld just to make SeaWorld more interesting because SeaWorld sounds boring.
Yeah.
And just little things like that. It was very interesting. That was maybe one of the most insightful, where comics are kind of nerding out with each other about really deep in the weeds. It was a very interesting episode.
Mispronouncing a word just funny. Like, I have a joke about a cockroach, but I say cockroach like intentionally because like just like that extra little thing is like it might get a laugh, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never thought about how funny just individual words are.
Yeah.
Now that my son is 5 and he's, learning and more words all the time, they're like, he's at that phase now where he's just doing like pee-pee poo-poo talk. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's just, he's like, he's like, hey, what if I put poo-poo on your head? Like, he's saying, and then you realize, you're like, man, poo-poo is a funny word, especially coming out of a 5-year-old's mouth.
That is funny.
And, everything he says right now is some form of pee-pee poo-poo joke, to the point where we're like, okay, none of that while we're eating dinner at this restaurant with other people around this place. But yeah, just forgetting that sometimes a word is just silly. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting in a whole new level of appreciating comedy on a more basic level again.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's just little things where it's just like, just saying one word, like, it changes everything, because people expect you to use a certain word, and a lot of comedy is just like going with what's unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
It's surprising people. When they're surprised, when they're caught off guard, that's when they laugh.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just those little word choices are important. I need to go back into my set and like change some words.
Look at words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard about people using ChatGPT just for that reason?
I hate that so much. I hate AI.
It's weird, right?
No, I want to go like on record. Like if you use AI, I think you're a loser. I don't care. I hate AI so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Go on. What about it?
It's just like, okay, the original like intention behind it was
Mm-hmm.
like cool, great, whatever. They're like, oh, we're going to use it to help scientists. We're going to use it to cure cancer, to go to the moon, whatever. Fine. Great. But when you're using it to like basically replace creativity
Yes.
and take away like basic human functions,
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know, just people are being so lame about it.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
just
100%.
you just can't Google
Yeah.
search.
We're not curing cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're remixing 50 Cent songs.
Yes. And like I just the whole like AI videos, AI photos, like
Yeah.
they're gross to me. Honestly, like if I see one on my Instagram or whatever, I block that account.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to see it. I hate it, and it's terrible for the environment on top of
They're
everything
building
else.
they're building nuclear power plants to power AI.
They're building nuclear power plants so that you can edit a photo of yourself with a Dragon Ball Z character. That's
Well, that's like that. There's an old Louis C.K. bit that's great about that, where he's talking about how this was when cell phones were like smartphones were getting more popular, I guess.
yeah.
And he's talking about people are so shitty about that. How because the whole bit was surrounded about. He was on a plane that was one of the first planes that had Wi-Fi. I don't know if you know the bit I'm talking about, but and the captain was like, "Hey, we actually are one of the first planes with Wi-Fi. We're going to kick it on." And everybody's like, "Oh, wow." Nobody expected it. And about 10 minutes in, it broke.
Yeah.
And the guy next to him was like, "What the fuck? This is bullshit." And
Yeah.
he's like, "You can't be mad about something you didn't know." And then he's talking about just being upset with technology and how you're so upset that your phone took a moment to send the thing. And he's like, it's got to go to outer space and come back. And he's like, and if you think it sucks, why don't you go set up towers and run cables and do all this stuff and make a better one? You can't fucking do that. And he's like, and all of that just to send your little stupid fucking picture of your food or something to somebody else. And it's like, you've got this amazing technology that you're doing bullshit with.
Yeah.
But
I love the part of that joke where he's saying all that. He goes, also, we're in the sky.
Yeah.
He's like, we're flying through the sky.
He says something like, you're on a chair in the sky.
Yeah.
You're a Greek myth.
No, it's so dumb. Like,
Knowing what AI could do
exactly.
is the frustrating. Because it's kind of like when you see all these people in the world, like, look, I know you're not supposed to be psyched working your shitty job. Okay, but if you could just do the best job you can while you're at your shitty job, and we all did the best job we could at our jobs, like how badass could the world be?
Yeah.
Just how much better could every little thing be if we all tried really hard every day?
Yeah, I just think it's like it's not only just like a lack of skill, it's like a lack of like wanting or trying.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you want a photo of, an apple with its tongue sticking out or whatever, right? You could just learn Photoshop.
Right.
It's not that hard.
Right.
And that's like the thing that pisses me off is like even like the Sora AI videos that come out, people upload their photo onto there and they'll like be like, this is a video of me at a Waffle House getting into a fight with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's like, why are you being a pussy? Just go fight somebody at Waffle House. If you want that footage, go make
They're
it.
there 24 hours a day, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just, what about what happened to the fun of being creative?
Yeah.
Part of what made TikTok, Reels, all these things fun, Vine, was, that would be interesting. Let's get our shitty camera.
Let's go do it.
Let's get some buddies together and let's reenact this or whatever it is. Have fun. It's not impressive it's impressive in the sense that technology is so powerful.
Yeah, but you didn't do that.
Yeah, it's not. It's impressive for 5 seconds, and then I totally forgot about everything.
It's not even impressive that you thought about it. I think about stuff all day.
Like, I just watched a clip today of a guy who he made his own camera that was 1 billion frames per second.
Yeah.
And then he decided he wanted to make one that was 2 billion frames per second. He built his own camera, he shot like a light, I don't know if it was a flashlight or a laser, but he was basically able to see light traveling
Right.
at this incredibly slow speed.
That's cool as hell.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, he could have prompted like
Yeah.
the physics of light and show me what it would look like with a camera that was 2 billion, and it could have made you some bullshit, but he did the real thing.
Yeah.
It's like, that's badass, and it's a low production video.
Yeah. It's
it's
just
like,
our
fuck,
use
man,
of
that's
AI
cool.
is so stupid. Like if we were using AI to replace all our jobs so that we had free time to be creative and paint and make movies, and videos and art, like, okay, cool. Hell yeah. Let the machines take the jobs.
Yeah.
But instead we're using it to replace all the creativity and for us to continue to work harder and live worse.
Yeah, it'll swing eventually, but we're going through the rough patch.
Enough people need to, in the creative community, just stand up and be like, oh no, we're against this bullshit.
I agree with you, but I just think now it's going to be more about, like, not coexist, but it's not going to go away.
No,
It's not going to go away, and it's going to get so seamless. Right now you can spot the videos, right? Like I was
barely. I still get
barely.
tricked, and
That's what I'm saying.
I'm very aware of it.
Well, I saw one where it was showing a guy who was a New York police officer, and he was standing up to ICE agents in New York,
Yeah.
and he's like, "This is my block. You're not coming into my town." And he's like threatening to arrest them, and it's an AI video.
Yeah.
And the guy points it out. Like, I'm sold on it. I'm like, Jesus, who's this cop? This is wow. And it was the police badge. It's like it didn't have the fonts down.
Right, it was like
all
all blurry,
fucked up
yeah.
and weird. And it was like, but I didn't even catch that at all.
Because you're not looking at that.
Yeah. And so that's only what, a year away from being fixed, the fonts. And then you don't know.
You don't. And that's what's like.
That may be what kills social media, is people are just going to go, I don't know what's real, so fuck it.
It's
I'm not gonna
sending
do it.
people into psychosis.
Yeah.
There's like people that are like looking at stuff and being like, what the hell is going on, And that's like the other thing that kind of pisses me off is like, they'll AI some dumb stuff. Like I saw one of like a rabbit jumping on a trampoline.
Yes,
And it's
I
like,
saw those.
It's like home footage or
Yeah,
whatever,
it looks like
right?
it was like nighttime and there's like
Right.
5 rabbits and you're like, oh, cute.
And so like as a concept, like, oh, that's really cool. But like that's what made like America's Home Funniest Videos so interesting. It's like we know this is something that actually happened.
Yeah.
Once you find out that's like AI and you just like typed it in, it's like, well, then who cares?
Yeah. Well, hopefully there's some tech genius who has a disdain for this and finds out a way to have like a verified real
Yeah.
thing, where it's like, we know this is a real thing that we put out, because it's tipping to the point where we won't know at all. And like AI music is a big issue. A lot of people are mad about that.
Yeah, it's gross.
It is, but also, like, well, you're a car guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you can go buy a car that meets all of your needs for a very affordable price, and it's going to be fuel efficient. It'll get you A to B. It's got all your creature comforts, but people still want to buy like a classic car and work on it.
Yeah.
And so I think that'll be AI is going to get so bad that I think it's actually going to help real performers,
Right.
Because they'll be like, no, we're going to watch like a real stand-up comic.
Yeah.
We're going to watch a real concert. Like they're actually playing the instruments in person. I see them. I know it's real.
It's the same as like, wanting to play a record instead of like streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Wanting to like use a smoker instead of like a Traeger.
Because when CDs were king, and streaming was streaming was happening, everyone swore, vinyl's dead.
Yeah.
Gone. And it's had the biggest resurgence, and it's had a steady one. Like it took a huge dip, I guess, in probably the 80s and 90s. And then since then, it's been on a slow, steady rise, and every year it's getting more and more.
Yeah, last year, vinyl outsold CDs.
There you go.
For the first time in like 20, 30 years, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, as crazy as it sounds, I think AI, it's going to get weird and bad and shitty, but then I think it will help promote the real stuff even more, just like it did with vinyl.
Yeah.
People like going to record stores now.
I think eventually people will realize that AI is not a replacement, but things have to get real shitty for a little while
and just
before that happens.
And like you said, finding out what to use it for. Because like one of the things that it is good for instance, is they can write prompts for like a radiologist to, the AI will scan an image for
Right.
a radiologist, and then they together can evaluate it.
Right.
It's like, well, that's great.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
That's what we should be using
This should
it
be
for.
this type of stuff
Yeah.
all the time. I read this story where a tech kid, I want to say he was a teenager even, he hacked into his local town's stoplight, IT, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the infrastructure that controls all the stoplights timing.
Yeah.
He hacked into that with his computer and like reprogrammed the lights because he was like, these are inefficient. You're fucking up my commute, basically.
Right.
And he made the lights run better. He didn't like screw it up for the whole town. He made it more efficient. And it took a little while for them to catch him. And then it was weird to prosecute him because it's like, well, he actually didn't make things worse. He made it better.
Yeah.
So it was this weird, like, I think he got in trouble, but then also it was like, you know, if you would like to be a consultant or something.
Right.
you know,
Help
we
us
can-
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, well, can't we run AI for everyday shit like that? Like, can you just please make the traffic smoother through all the stoplights and that seems like an AI thing that would be very easy to do. Like all these little day-to-days that would just benefit us.
That's what you would think, but
Yeah.
companies don't think that. Companies are like, oh, let's make more
that doesn't
money.
make money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's fire everybody and just have AI run the whole thing.
Well, that's my biggest fucking gripe too is when's it enough? When is it enough fucking money?
It's not.
You
It
know,
never is.
I know, but just you know, can we just have a few people where it's like, I don't even care if you want to be a billionaire. I know
Yeah.
people are like billionaires shouldn't exist. I don't care if you want to be a billionaire, but let's keep it within reason. Like if you're doing as many cool things as possible to help people and you're also a billionaire, I'm down with that. You know, like Bezos could have the best benefits for all his workers of any other warehouse shipping company, whatever we're calling Amazon these days. And you could go like, yeah, our wages are, you know, 15% higher than anything close to this.
Yeah.
And people would just be like, I love working at Amazon. And even if you didn't give a shit about those workers, if it was just for greed,
Yeah.
couldn't you just go, okay, we're going to give the peasants this shit. We're going to give them that. I'm going to build some parks and some schools, and we're going to do this kind of shit. Also, the public likes us. And then you go to all those events and you're just like, yeah, well, you know, if you want more parks, keep buying Amazon.
Exactly.
And it's like, then people would be like, yeah, you know.
You could do the right things for
He's
the
a
wrong
fucking
reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he seems a little slimy and greasy, but like look how much he's helping us out. And of course, I'm going to order from Amazon.
Yeah.
You know, like bring back the retirement pension or something for these workers, where it's not this 401k bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, something where they're like, you know, back where he walked through the factory floor. Even if they didn't personally like him, they're just like, well, yeah, but he's the man, you know?
Right.
Like, wouldn't you want to be respected amongst those workers to the point where if somebody was talking shit, they'd be like, hey, you don't fucking talk about Mr. Bezos that way.
Yeah.
All right? It's because of this job, I was able to put my kids through school. My wife and I went on a nice vacation. But nobody has that pride of, oh, if I took care of these workers, they're going to take care of me.
No,
if I
'cause
take care of my customer,
They
they're going
don't
to take
see
care
it that
of me.
way. It's all, you know, we're all replaceable.
Yeah. Even brands, you know, like I have a Toyota Tacoma.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it because Toyota is just one of these brands that is
Yeah.
known for reliability.
Very reliable.
And now you're hearing all these stories of the Tundras and the new Tacomas just having problem after problem after problem. It's like, Toyota's not supposed to be that way. What the fuck's going on at Toyota? Even Toyota is getting concerned about the nickels and the dimes to that point now that we're making these huge mistakes.
Well, Toyota trucks are built in America.
Well, I know that my opinion is it's probably that it's probably like a North American division that took over all this.
Yeah.
And that's why, and we're putting our views in. It's like
It 100% is.
Send that shit back to the Japanese people.
But
who,
then we
you
wouldn't
know,
have trucks because of the chicken tax.
You know, I understand, but
Yeah.
how did they get why were the first generations so good? Why were the second generations so good?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
What were we doing?
The value slipped.
Let's go back to whatever we did there. That
Yeah.
seemed to be the good balance of we're making it, I guess, locally to be able to do that versus just, you know, like the new Toyota Tacoma. They have these shock absorbing seats that are an option for your badass off-road stuff. And it takes away the rear leg room and it jacks the price. You know, I'm sure it's like a $2,000 option or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what the actual number is. It's like, do we need that bullshit to raise this price up to $65,000 for a mid-sized pickup? Can we just taper expectations a little bit?
But the thing is, there is a guy out there that's going to buy that.
Yeah, there's always some jackass, you know, and that's the problem too. But I don't know. You were talking about the chicken tax.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's the same thing, but like, you know, the little Japanese cars, is it K or K?
K-trucks.
K-trucks?
Yeah.
Did you hear Trump talking about
Bringing those in.
bringing the little car, removing that to where we can get them in, or
I guess he's talking about
think he's trying to
buying
get
them new.
yeah, I think
Because that's the thing. You can buy one legally now.
25 years old,
25
right?
years old.
Yeah. I think he's talking about getting it to where we can buy them new, and it's like, hey, okay.
Yeah.
personal politics, whatever aside, it's like, that's a good fucking rule. Because he was approaching it from the idea of, we need affordable cars in this country.
Yeah.
We need affordable cars for people who don't want to spend $40,000 on something.
You know who else said that?
Huh.
Hitler. That's how the Bug got made, the Volkswagen Bug.
Listen, don't make me tell people what car you drove here, all right, while you're talking about Hitler.
Yeah. Yeah, cut that.
No, but the logic is there. It's like, can we just, please, I just want a refrigerator that runs for 30 years.
No, I get it.
I'll pay a premium up front for it.
And I know I'm talking shit. I would like that.
Yeah,
I would love to have a brand new $20,000 truck that works just as well as like a $60,000 truck.
Absolutely. Or if I'm going to buy a $60,000 truck, I just want to know it'll last to 500,000 miles if I do maintenance on it. If I just do regular maintenance, this bitch is going to run.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this to a grandkid, and these companies, man, it's never enough because they all have shareholders. You got to make the shareholders more money every year, which is a bad system. And eventually you get to the point where you go, well, we can't make any extra. So what's the first thing you do? We got to make cuts.
Yeah.
We got to use cheaper this, cheaper that, fewer people,
And a lot of I think this is something we also talked about last time, where it's like, don't get me wrong, I love technology, but a lot of cars now are just completely like, it's like the new iPhone.
Yeah.
It's like everyone just wants to make it all technology based because it's cheaper that way. It's cheaper to just have a tablet in the middle of your dash that controls your air conditioning, that controls your windows, that controls every single function, and not make buttons for all of those things.
Yeah, that's true.
Even like power steering isn't even a mechanical thing anymore. Power steering is electrical now.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Your levers to change gears, it's no longer actually connected to the transmission. It's a button or dial that you turn.
Yeah.
Your parking brake, no longer a mechanical thing you pull. It's a button.
Yeah, my wife has the button one.
Yeah.
I hate it, man. There's something satisfying about pulling that e-brake up,
I hate automatic stop and start at a red light.
Yes.
It pisses me off so much.
Yeah. But I've seen it, maybe it's just my algorithm, but I'm seeing this movement back to analog cars.
Yeah.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
If they put a car on the market right now, no screen, that classic green or red glow that your dials used to be, and then give me crank windows, give me manual locks. I want a basic.
Yeah, you want really basic.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, for like a daily driver, or even just like, there's cars that are just cheap and fun. Mm-hmm. Like a car where like, oh, we're gonna go grab lunch, and you drive that car, or whatever. It's like, I would love to have a cheap little 2-door, coupe of some kind that's just manual everything, manual transmission, that you just drive down like on a Sunday to go get like coffee and donuts or something.
Right.
Just something that's fun and affordable. Mm-hmm. And, it's because like cars in the like 60s and 70s probably, like even some of the 80s, like some of the cars were just fun designs.
Yeah.
Where it's just, I'm trying to think of something that really stood out. Well, like those old 2-door, like Nissans and Datsuns. What were they? 300s.
The Z's.
Yeah, those aren't like practical cars.
Yeah,
but they're fun. Mm-hmm. It's a cool little 2-door. Like you can have a lot of fun in that car. And I was so disappointed. You can't even relaunch cars like that now with the same kind of spirit. It's because like they did relaunch that with Nissan, and I think it's kind of flopping.
Yeah,
it's just like I think there's so much technology you have to put in it now that you don't get that kind of essence of what that vehicle used to be, because there's regulations that you have to design things with certain safety features and stuff.
Well, and outside of that, it's just like at the end of the day, these places, they're all companies. They're all looking to make money, and doing fun things don't make money.
But see, that's why guys like Jack White are so appealing, right?
Yeah,
because he proves it's like no, fun things make money.
Yeah,
do the cool fun thing. And like take a chance.
Yeah, I mean that's why like even movie studios don't make comedies anymore.
Yeah, but someone's got to realize how much money they're leaving on the table. Someone will start making those, and they'll realize
the streaming industry, because they killed DVDs, has ruined like movie studios feel like every movie that comes out has to be a blockbuster that makes $1 billion just for them to see any profit. Mm-hmm. And like, when DVDs were coming out, all the sales from DVDs led them to have that extra budget to be like, yeah, we'll throw you, an extra $20 million to make a comedy.
Yeah.
You know?
See, yeah, I agree with you. But also, I had to look up this movie because I thought it might still be fake. I might have gotten tricked 3 times over. Let me double check before I talk shit. But Netflix, because I didn't believe it. It sounded so stupid. And I have to preface it with a wild thing because I'm not transphobic. I don't care. Be happy, do your shit. It doesn't matter to me. But it was a movie about a trans woman who just wanted to be a coal miner, and they wouldn't let her be a coal miner.
Yeah.
And
I don't think that's real.
I'm telling you, let me find it. Oh God, I'm gonna be so upset. Queen of Coal, right here on Netflix.
This is a real movie.
Queen of Coal. I had to look it up multiple times.
God, what year did this come?
This is on Net. This came out fucking this year, 2025. Oh, it's coming Friday. It hasn't been released yet. A trans woman dreams of working the coal mines, but in a town steeped in superstition and patriarchy, Carlita must fight to earn her place underground.
That's great. What does it say? What year the movie is set?
It does not, but it looks modern. It looks modern.
It does look modern.
And so my point is, like, I don't care. I don't give a shit if you want to spend your money making the trans coal miner movie. Maybe there's a trans. Maybe there's a viewership group that wants to watch the trans coal miner. I don't care. But if we have the budget for that, we also have the budget for comedies.
Yeah.
We can make comedy. Like you're taking a risk financially on that one. That's not going to be seen by, like 90% of the public's not going to go, did you see Queen of Coal? Oh my God. That's going to be a smaller audience. And that had to cost a few $1 million. Every movie's probably a couple $1 million now, right?
Oh, easy.
And you saw they're riding a bus to the coal mine. So it's like we had to rent buses, get uniforms, we had to hire makeup, put soot on your face. There's production spent. Whereas just a classic comedy, you could find multiple affordable settings to put that in. So I'm not convinced that you won't take the risk. I think they just don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I think I think it's going to swing back. Someone's going to put out someone's going to take a risk and just put out crazy funny comedies that cross lines and boundaries. And I don't even mean like you need to be offensive. Just, you remember watching like a movie like Superbad. And it's like, it wasn't even an offensive joke necessarily. Just like, I can't believe they took it that far.
Right.
I can't believe the joke went that many levels.
It was like a cultural phenomenon. Like, I remember the time of like Superbad being out and everyone talking about it.
Yeah.
Like people went to the theaters to go see it. And like, I remember it came out around like the same time as Juno.
Yes.
And everyone was like, this Michael Cera guy is great.
Somebody was talking about how comedies now are too heavily reliant on dialogue being like witty and like quips and like, someone, you say something and then someone else gives you the like, ba-ba-da-da.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's all the jokes rather than, a situation or something just being funny.
Yeah.
For instance, like the clothing that they have Jonah Hill wearing.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Michael Cera singing the song when they confuse the guy. What he's saying isn't funny. It's all how he's doing it.
That whole movie is like, none of them are trying to be funny. Like, this is just like their characters and they're extremely flawed and like, they're high schoolers,
Yeah.
I don't know. Comedy movies went through a weird thing where like in the 90s, a lot of comedy was like character based, like Ace Ventura.
But even him, like a lot of what he's doing wasn't even what he was saying.
Yeah, it was all physical.
Yeah.
But it was like
that opening scene where he's kicking the box. How do you even think up? Okay, so we're gonna do about 4 minutes of this box.
Yeah.
And it was one of the funniest things.
Right.
Now I don't know if it holds up to a new person now, but the first time you're seeing that, you're like, how much are we destroying this fucking box before the joke's over? It was hilarious.
Yeah, I think that was like the thing was like in the 90s, it was like, the Ace Ventura, it was Austin Powers, it was like a lot of like character driven comedy. And then that kind of phased out into the 2000s when like kind of like honestly it was like that Seth Rogen era of like situations being funny of like, like Knocked Up with the pregnancy, the Pineapple Express of like we owe this drug dealer money, Superbad, the kids in high school. And it's like
Hangover.
Right. All of that kind of went away, and like, I don't. There's no like new style of comedy movie now.
No, I think now it's too much. It's too much talking.
Yeah,
it's too much. Da 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 joke. Da 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 joke. Da, da. And it's like people don't machine gun fire jokey dialogue like that in real life. No, that doesn't happen
ever.
Yeah, most people.
Did you watch Good Fortune?
Nuh-uh.
The
What's that?
Aziz Ansari movie. That one was good. It was Aziz Ansari, Seth Rogen, Keanu Reeves. It was written by Aziz Ansari. I think it was directed by Aziz Ansari. It's about Aziz Ansari's character has like a guardian angel that like tries to like set his life in the right direction, and
Like a spiritual guardian angel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, his original role, I'm not trying to like spoil the movie or anything, but like his original role was just like being like a guardian angel that protects people from like texting and driving. But he wants a bigger responsibility. So he goes like outside of the chain of command to try to help Aziz Ansari.
Is Keanu that guy?
Yeah.
Okay, that
and
fits.
So Aziz Ansari's character is like, you know, this dude, he like works for DoorDash, like is broke living in his car, and he works for Seth Rogen's character who's like this tech billionaire. And so he switches their lives to like show Aziz that like his life wouldn't be any better as a billionaire, but it completely is. And so he's like, all right, well, I need to switch you back now. And he was like, no, my life is great. Like, and so like the whole movie is like him trying to like get them to switch back.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta watch it. That sounds hilarious. I mean, there you go. That's like somebody's taking a stab at a comedy.
Yeah.
You know, let's do it.
And the only reason I bring that up is because like that was like, I feel like one of the first like big comedies to like actually come out in theaters, and like that was this year, you know?
I think we just need to start releasing movies, you know, make a production company, and instead of trying to sell it to these streamers, just put it on fucking YouTube. Just put it on YouTube. Make YouTube the new DVD bin that you used to go to at the grocery store.
I agree with that to a certain extent. I don't want theaters to die.
Well, I just took my son to watch Zootopia 2. And the theaters need to figure something out, because that was for him and I only, that was like a $70 trip.
Yeah.
What the fuck, you know? And it's like, my wife and I, it's like we have decent careers. Like we have money to spend on these types of things. But you're not gonna keep the movie there if you can't get blue collar people affording this. Like, that makes no sense. If you are employed at a level slightly less than me, that's ridiculous. You know, and I'm not like so gainfully employed that I can just throw $70.
Yeah,
like it's still $70. You're still thinking like, you know, hey, this is almost $100 for a frivolous, you know, 2 hours we're gonna spend here.
A lot of people that I know that like going to movies are part of that AMC A-list.
Yeah, I think you or somebody else told me about that.
It wasn't me because I'm not a member.
Okay.
I would be. I just don't like any of the AMC theaters that are close to me.
Yeah. Well, I also just don't like, why do I need to fucking subscribe?
That's the other thing.
Give me
me
a good price and I'll come more often.
It is decent. Like, I don't know. Even if you go to the movies.
But it's the gimmick of like, I gotta be in your little club with your app and your phone so you can steal all my fucking data and try to advertise bullshit to me.
They should just make it that's the price across the board. But the way they have it set up is like, even if you go once a month, it's worth it. You pay, I think, $25 a month. You get 4 free tickets a week.
It's great.
Yeah.
You know what I would do it for? I would like fuck the app, make me come to a movie theater, and you take a picture and you give me like a laminated ID card.
Yeah, like a library card.
Laminated ID card, and like when I go talk to whoever's at the register, they just like have a thing they punch in. It's like, all right, that's your second one this week or whatever. And I'd be like, fuck yeah, I'll pay a premium to not have to have the app.
Yeah,
and I'll pay an extra $10 to give me the analog real version.
That's great. No, this is
I don't want another thing on my phone. I don't want another password. I don't want another thing. Your shit's going to get hacked. My information's going to get stolen for the 5th time by a 5th company.
Yeah.
Give me just normal shit.
Yeah, just because you wanted to see Zootopia.
Yeah, Zootopia. I just wanted to have a moment with my son who's been excited about this movie, you know?
Yeah.
And I do want to support the theater. I can wait for that shit to come out and stream for free. I can tell my son it doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
He's stupid. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted him to go to the theater and experience. I like the sound. I like, you know, kicking my feet up and being in the seat and everything, movie theater popcorn, but $70.
It's up there.
It wasn't even like we did that on it was Saturday afternoon. It was like a 2:30 movie.
Yeah, it wasn't a prime time slot. Yeah.
No. And then the other thing is like, I never know which movie I really need to buy the tickets for. It's like, okay, so we've got, is Dolby surround experience or whatever, like, is that the standard or is it AMC laser?
Yeah.
Or like there's like 4 versions of theaters. And it's like, just give me a movie screen, please, for the love of God. Give me a theater, an easy way to pay a normal price, and I'm going to come there once a week guaranteed. I'd go see a movie once a week right now.
Yeah.
But I can't. That's just taking my son, right? So if I'm taking my wife, the prices are. I can't spend $400 a month on movies.
No.
I can't do it.
That's insane.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
I go to the movies about once a week now, but I just buy a ticket.
Right.
Yeah. And I bring my own Diet Coke.
Yeah. We, I'm trying to give them some of that movie theater experience. Yeah. Get the popcorn, go to the soda machine.
Yeah.
That shit's fun, but they make it expensive to be fun.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Again, it's just, I think it's one of those things. I know nothing about running a movie theater chain, so obviously.
Yeah, I don't know what their margins are to the point where they've had to jack these prices up.
Yeah, but I think you have these bean counters like you do in every industry where instead of trying to be creative and find the solution to get increased revenue somehow, they go, well, we can raise the prices and sure we'll have fewer customers, but those customers are paying higher prices, so it balances out.
Yeah.
It's like, but you don't want fewer customers. I'd rather have more customers at lower prices.
Well, that's the thing with companies. Like once they find out that they can make a certain amount of money, they're not going to go back to not making that amount.
They could.
They could, but they won't.
How much would you shop at a company, though, if you found out they did that? You would go buy shit immediately.
Well, that's how like Costco is.
Mm-hmm.
That's why people love Costco.
That's why people love Buc-ee's, too.
Yeah, Arizona tea.
Okay, Arizona tea might be the staple.
Yeah.
The guy was in an interview and literally said, why do I need to raise the price? I'm already rich.
Right.
It's like, that's it. That's the thought. You're already rich. That's a great idea, you know?
He doesn't have the...
Because didn't the Costco guy say something along the lines of like, I'll kick your ass if you raise the price of the hot dogs or something?
Yeah, they hired like a new, I think, like financial advisor or something like that.
Yeah.
This was like in like the 80s or 90s or something like that. And they were like, hey, we're losing money on the hot dog. If we increase it, you know, we can get those dollars back or whatever, right? And he was like, if you put that hot dog, if you change the price, there will be a crowd of people outside rioting and I'm going to be in front with them.
Yeah. It's like, dude, it's a fucking hot dog.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, what?
I remember...
They're buying $300 worth of groceries.
Yeah. And that's my whole argument for the gas station hot dogs. That's why I steal one every time I go. If I'm paying $100 for gas, I should get a hot dog.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you would stop in at that place more.
Right.
Knowing the hot dog was there.
If they were like, hey, if you're filling up your tank, you get a hot dog.
Yeah. And guess what? If you get a hot dog, what else are you going to get? You're going to get a drink.
Right.
Okay.
I'm going to go out of my way to go to this gas station.
I'm getting a drink that's already marked up 400%. And so we're all good, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. There needs to be more stuff like that. And I think people just forget the value of a great experience and that people will, like, you'll accidentally spend more money there more often because you just prefer to go there.
Yeah.
Like, how many times do you either stop before you need gas or you hold your piss to hit a Buc-ee's because it's better?
Yeah, I mean, if you're already on the way somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, like there's been times where it's like, well, I mean, I still got 3/4 of a tank, but it's a Buc-ee's. Let's drop in real quick. I'll top it off. We'll get some food, and we'll hit the road.
Yeah.
And that's why. But they also say on their website they won't franchise their stores solely because they know quality will drop.
Yeah.
So
and
they're turning down money.
Yeah.
They could be the biggest franchise for gas stations.
And they pay their employees so well. Like... A manager of a Buc-ee's is making triple what I make right now.
Bro, I looked up wages like a couple years ago, so it might have changed because I was showing people because they didn't believe me. I was like, look, and this has been a while, so I don't know if it's changed, but at the time, I think they had paid time off. They had some form of benefits that you could get.
Yeah.
I think they had some form of 401k that you could get. We're talking about a cashier at a gas station, okay? And then I was looking up the more professional jobs, like not entry-level jobs. You could be a car wash manager, and the salary was something like $120,000 a year. And it's like you needed some experience, but guess what? You could be the assistant car wash manager and get your experience.
But if you grew up in, Terrell,
and
there's nothing else to do, I'm 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
I start off as a cashier. By the time you're 25, you can be making the store manager at a Buc-ee's makes like $175 a year.
Fantastic.
And you're living in Terrell.
There you go. You're at a fucking gas station.
Yeah.
And it's like that to me is the American dream that we're missing.
Yeah.
Which is like, hey, if you only want to work at the gas station, there's no problem with that. We're just asking you be the best fucking gas station you can be.
Right.
And best gas station worker you can be.
And you're going to live a great fucking life.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Are you going to buy a Ferrari? Probably never. But
Yeah.
are you always going to have what you need? And if you live within the means of that pay, you're still going to be able to have a good life. You're going to be able to go on some vacations. You're going to be able to go out to eat. You're going to be able to have friends and a social life.
You can have respect in your community.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, because I don't know what the wage is for a cashier, but I want to say it was hovering around like $20 an hour or something, right? Like an entry-level thing.
There's a Pizza Hut by my job, and the manager of that place runs it so well. I have more respect for him than like most people I know in my life.
Right.
And I only see him when I go to that Pizza Hut. But every time I see him there, he's just busting his ass.
Yeah.
You know, he's at the register. Like I don't know if he owns the store, like it's his franchise, or he's just the manager. Yeah. But the way he treats it is like the way shit should be ran. Like he cares, you know?
I think that's one of the toxic things about social media and then the newest generation of people. Like I think millennials are a big part to blame on this, but then also Gen Z or Alpha, whatever's coming up behind me. Like we were the first generation where you could kind of start bitching more publicly, and it's like it became so cool to like hate your job and hate your shit and all that stuff instead of just taking pride and being happy that like, no, I got a cool job. I have a job that's all right, you know? And because I remember the Gen X people I grew up with. It's like, yeah, we might be like stocking boxes or working fast food, but there was still like an amount of pride of like what you did every day.
I think that comes with being paid well for your job, you know?
Yeah, there was definitely, well, I mean, I don't know. I'd have to have somebody run the numbers, because like when I was stocking boxes for Dollar General, that was probably like an $8 an hour job.
Yeah.
And that would have been like 2000, I don't know, 4 or 5, something like that. And so I don't know how that translates. I'm assuming minimum wage, the equivalent of that today is not being met, obviously.
Yeah.
And so that's a problem.
Well, minimum wage hasn't changed, I think, since like 2008.
Yeah, but I mean, even like, I don't know that companies' entry-level pay would even be the equivalent of that $8 now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if that's the case, right? And so it's like, yeah, first of all, we got to say like, yes, it's entry-level, but it is worth this much. And that doesn't mean you should get $40 an hour, but let's find what that number is.
Yeah.
But it still was like, all right, we're stocking boxes. This isn't my dream job. This isn't what I want to do for my whole fucking life. But I also don't want to be miserable every single day I'm here. Yeah. And it's like, I had a cool boss. I was like, hey man, if I come in early to stock the boxes, can I like throw on like my CDs in the CD player before we open? He's like, I don't give a shit as long as the boxes are out.
Yeah.
And so it's like you turned it into a situation where you're like, all right, my goal is to get all this shit out before the doors open. And it's just like you took a little bit of pride in. I think a lot of people don't see the value in you know, they just see like a 40-year-old dude like me going like, if you work hard, things work out.
Yeah.
And I know people don't like hearing that. And the system is definitely set up to fuck you harder now than it ever has 100%. Been. But I still think that hard work, it never hurts you.
No.
You know what I mean? And it's like, man, part of the way you're going to unfuck the system is by working really hard, and then you get to go change the game. You know,
one thing I don't think people understand, and this is something I've just been able to like live off of, is if you are good at your job, you are allowed to be a shittier employee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You control a lot when you're the one making sure shit gets done.
Yeah. I think that's the benefit of being really good at your job.
When you're skilled.
Yeah.
And well, you know, it's like most people, if you're doing the bare minimum, you're already one of the better employees.
Yeah.
You're already one of the better ones if you just do the minimum.
Yeah.
And if you try even a little bit harder, all of a sudden you're like top worker. And then, like you said, you become a little bit untouchable. Yeah. Because you're making shit happen every day. And these 5 other idiots are not reliable at all.
I know it might, like, I'm not a good employee. I'll be the first person to say it. I'm a little bit slow at the things that I do, but they always get done well.
Right.
To the point where no one's raising their eyebrow. Like, my bosses don't have to stand over my shoulder and look at what I'm doing. They know it's going to come out right.
Well, I'd rather work with a slow worker that gets the shit done than a fast worker where I wonder, fuck, did they cut a corner?
Right, where they fuck everything up.
I mean, even like we were talking about Bo Burnham, Chipotle.
Yeah.
I don't need you to fold the burrito and throw the ingredients in there as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
I will wait 30 more seconds to feel like the burrito was crafted rather than slapped together. And you know, it's like, I don't expect you to love working at Chipotle, but can we just we just do like I felt so stupid because I was complimenting a guy because it's like I ordered you know, a burrito. And I was like, oh, can I get some of the hot salsa? You know, I'm getting my ingredients. And he's like not just throwing it on there. He's like making the line with the ingredients. Every ingredient he put on there was in like this symmetrical, everything's evenly distributed. And I was like, Dude, you don't know how happy that makes me to feel. Just knowing like there's going to be the equal amount of salsa on every bite I take, and that's awesome. And it's like the other burrito's not bad. This is just so much better.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, just that little extra effort. I was like, dude, if I had a company and if I was like a multimillionaire and I would be reaching out to you like, please come work for me.
Yeah.
Just your salsa application skills tells me all I need to know about your personality, and whatever you need to train on, I'm going to be able to teach you.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's what it is, just caring about bullshit. And then when a real opportunity comes up, they know, no, they're the type of person, they'll get it done.
That's like what I was talking about like at my job. Like there's been certain situations where like the high up bosses that don't work with me every day like might be like, oh, like, CAIN is this, CAIN is that, whatever. But then my boss that actually worked with me, they're like, no, he is all those things. But also, you've never had a complaint about the quality of his work.
We got any problems?
Yeah.
We haven't had any? You getting any phone calls or emails about this?
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
It's that's one of the things I've benefited off of. They're like, I know if like cuts came tomorrow, there's at least 3 other people that don't know how to do anything at the shop that I work at that would be gone.
Well, that's the other thing too. Have some rational thought process about like, I need to get good at things. So if I am ever on the chopping block, it's not me.
Yeah.
It's not me. And because I'm in a similar situation, it's like, I hope we never have layoffs. We never have, but I do know there's a list of people before me.
Yeah.
That's all there's
you
a
need.
list.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for them, but also those people are there every day with me. And I'm happy to share my skill set with you. I'll get you on my same level, but you don't want to do that. So I'm not going to waste my time. Now, the flip side I will say is that really only works if you're with a company that isn't screwing you every day. And that goes back to these companies got to change a little bit too. When you have these people that get your shit done and they're efficient, don't screw them. Don't go, oh, you get that done in 32 hours instead of 40? Okay, well, we'll just scale you back to 32 hours. Like, don't do that bullshit.
That's what, the car companies do to the mechanics.
Right.
The car companies will, like, see who gets it done the fastest, and then they'll set everyone's time to that fastest. So now it's like, because this guy can do this job in, 20 hours. If you take 25, well, you're still only getting paid for that 20. Because we know there is someone that can do it that quick.
And that goes back to, that's why so much of our stuff is just getting worse and worse and worse. Like, don't rush that dude, okay?
Yeah.
Don't rush him. Let him put together my car the right way. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. We can make all these guys work as fast as possible, cut corners, and then I got to bring my shit back 2 or 3 times, and we're wasting everyone's time, resources, effort. Or we can do it one time and do it right. Like, okay, it's going to take an extra day, but then I'll never see you again. Let's do an extra day.
Yeah.
And it's just, but it's, it's all greed, right? If we can move this many cars through these, blah, 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 blah.
It's all, moving the numbers for the months.
Dude, yeah. Well, and that's
quarters.
And I think that's the bigger thing that if people adjusted, like your comedy career, you're doing it for the short term, but the plan is that this goes well and you have a 20, 30-year career in this, right? We got to think about the big picture all the time. I don't care about your quarterly earnings. I don't even care about your annual earnings. Like, if we can keep the business open and pay the people, that's great. Nobody has a 10, 15, 20-year plan for these companies anymore.
No.
They don't think that far down they don't think, like, if we start doing this now, in 10 years, we'll have so much dialed in. I think the only company I feel like that even thinks that way, talking about cars and stuff, would be like Tesla or SpaceX, where it seems like they knew 10, 15 years ago, we have to build everything. We have to build our manufacturing plants. We have to do all of this, or we're never going to be able to achieve these things. And that's why they're so far ahead of these other companies. They almost go bankrupt setting the things up beforehand, knowing like this will pay off.
I don't think Tesla profited a single dollar until like recently.
I think in the last 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, it was something very recent where like the first year they actually made a profit.
Yeah. And then now everyone's pissed that he's making so much money.
Yeah.
And it's like, but hold on. They saw the writing on the wall of it's going to be so hard to get there. And literally, I think they were weeks or days away from bankruptcy at one point, pushing through that to build it to what it is. And then now launching rockets more efficiently than NASA.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people really, like, I know he's polarizing and people have their opinions on him. That's fine. But a private sector person became more reliable for space, for launching products up to the International Space Station than the government agency that created all this.
Well, they use him now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, their launches.
It's incredible.
Yeah, which I don't know a whole lot about SpaceX and what they're doing, but I do know about cars.
Yeah.
And I know Tesla, just shitty quality. Like, as achievements aside, like, they've done amazing things for the electric car infrastructure and everything that's set up and how it is now. But I've just seen so many examples of them just putting out shitty quality
like panel gaps
cars.
and things, or what
panel gaps, screws missing, big weld marks on random spots.
Okay.
They do a lot of shit that's against the consumer working on their own cars.
That part I don't like.
Yeah.
Because I know there's a guy online who will go buy totaled ones and he like mods them out himself.
Yeah, Rich Rebuilds.
Yes,
and
that guy.
He's very big in fighting for like the Right to Repair Act.
Yeah.
And that goes against Tesla, John Deere, Apple, all those big companies that don't want you working on your products.
What is Tesla's rationale for locking people out? They just want to make the service money?
Basically,
Yeah.
You would
think...
So the thing with like...
Because I thought they opened up all their patents for other manufacturers.
Yeah,
so why would you care about the consumer?
They did but it's way tougher to like go make your own tools based off patents than it is to, because the rules with like small mom and pop like auto shops is you have to have access to the same tools that the dealerships have. But Tesla doesn't have any dealerships.
Right.
So they go around that rule that way.
But you know why they don't have dealerships too, though, is like Texas wasn't allowing them to have dealerships, right?
Really?
I could be talking out of my ass, but I heard, what I thought I heard and read was that some form of lobbying was attempting to keep dealerships out, which is why they have showrooms and you order them online.
Yeah. But that's not
but
just
I think that
Texas.
But I think that ends up being better for them anyway, that you just order it online.
Yeah.
There's no dealership overhead.
Yeah, but that's across the U.S. There are no dealerships for Tesla.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'd have to look into that further then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was more of a, like, I think the conspiracy part of it that I read was more of like, like an oil lobby.
Yeah.
Or something would be like, hey, we need to keep these dealerships down.
Yeah. The other things with like Teslas is like, if you do have something that goes wrong in your car, you have to go through the whole repair process, like on the app on your phone. And they like send somebody like come pick your car up. There was a report of a guy that like, it was something simple. Like, I think something like on his seat messed up or something like that. It took them 3 months to come like pick up his car. There was another guy that like, he was told it was something simple. They came and picked up his car. He was gone for like a year.
Oh my God.
And the entire time, because a lot of people don't know this either, the self-driving is not just something you have. That's a subscription you have to pay monthly.
I don't like that.
I also don't like when car companies do subscription on features you already have. I already paid for the car.
Yeah.
I should get all the features.
Because who is it?
BMW.
Yeah. Are they doing like heated seats or something? Yeah.
Subscription for like heated seats, which is stupid. But this dude, his
that.
car, he was originally told that it was only going to be gone like a month. So he didn't cancel his like auto drive subscription. He paid it for a full year waiting to get his car back. And then he called them and was like, hey, my car's been gone for a year. Can I get a refund on all this auto drive I've been paying for? And they're like, no, we don't do that. So it's like, it's little shit like that where it's like, as a company, like, it goes back to like not caring about customers,
Yeah. Yeah, that's disheartening. I mean, I don't mind Tesla, but that kind of stuff, hey, come on, let's switch it. Let's get better. The subscription bullshit. I want an electric. This is probably something I'm not ever going to find, but I want an electric car that is also analog. Like, give me the limited amount of technology I need to make the electric part of this car work, and then make everything else regular car. I don't want a subscription. I don't want the giant screen controlling every little thing.
You're better off just getting an old car and putting a battery in.
That's what I'm saying. I just want an electric drivetrain for the fuel economy, for like when I'm here in town, that kind of stuff. To not go to the gas station anymore. That's about it. Like, have you seen the new? I am excited about the new Scout electric vehicles. Have you seen those?
Those are cool. Yeah,
those look cool, but it's like, please don't fuck it up, and please don't make it $150,000.
Well, there's also another electric car company. I forget the name, but it's fully electric and they're like modular vehicles, and they start at $20,000.
Slate is that
yes.
it? Yeah. They're doing like a pickup truck, right? Yeah.
All of them start as a pickup truck, but then you can buy like the camper SUV package.
Oh,
that like
that's cool.
You put the roof on, add the rear seats, and now it's an SUV.
They got them out yet? Have they sold any yet?
No, but I've seen the video of like the dude that like went to like the facility and like they showed like every version of like the slate vehicle you can get, but like the base like blank slate is 20,000, and then everything you add up to that is like you put on.
Maybe the pendulum's swinging back like we were talking about.
Yeah,
because I think a consumer would buy that. I mean, especially, a little 2-door pickup truck.
Yeah.
The amount of people that would use that for a work vehicle or something. I mean,
or just like going back and forth to work,
dude, I'm telling you. Because, I live here in Dallas. I work within a, like 7-mile radius. That's where I'm every day. That's what I'm going in. I'm the perfect consumer for an electric car.
On your way home, your wife texts you like, hey, this thing on Facebook Marketplace, can you pick it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, just throw it in the back of the bed, like.
Dude, and right now, it's like, yeah, but I don't have the money to drop on that second vehicle for that right now, And the Tacoma was already so overpriced when I got it, It's like,
it doesn't leave you room to get something else,
No, and that doesn't even talk about, insurance companies raping us every year on bringing these prices up higher and
insurance
higher and higher.
is insane.
Insanity.
And like you do one little thing and they jack your price up.
Mm-hmm.
You get a speeding ticket and now you're paying like $250 a month for insurance.
Yeah, I'm not going to get on that. I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I do think that we're reaching this pendulum swing or tipping point where people are getting so fed up with that. I don't know what it's going to be, and I do think, like, as much as we were talking about AI, I think AI is going to be a big part of people just going, I'm fucking fed up.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I mean, everyone's already fed up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know what the solution is, but like, it's just like it's got to get to a point where just like, I don't know, people just stop participating.
It's crazy to say it on a podcast to a comic who's, we both rely on social media and these things. I think we're all going to have to stop using it.
Yeah. I think we're all going to have to stop participating in everything.
That's what I mean.
Stop registering your car. Stop paying for insurance.
We're going full libertarian. I'm down. I used to think some of that stuff was so crazy. Like, you guys are all kooky. And now I'm just like, fuck, let's go.
If everyone stops, they're going to be like, all right, we'll fix this.
Yeah. We just start growing food in public parks and things like that.
What are they going to do?
I've heard of people doing that in small forms where like they'll rebel against their HOA and everybody will put like inflatable Christmas decorations or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you going to fine everyone? Because we're all not paying.
Exactly. That's great. Why do we have HOAs?
I'm fine
so
for kind of like
stupid.
civilized anarchy like that.
Yeah.
Like let's not burn shit down, but let's just show them. I mean, there was something in France, I think, where they were going to tax. It was either France or England, but they were going to tax farmers in some way that they all felt was unfair. And the farmers just brought their farm equipment in, and they were spraying manure all over the government buildings.
That's great.
It's like, fuck, yeah.
I love that.
Nobody really gets hurt from that, but we get our point across, And, I don't know. The key to it, I think, is us realizing they're always pitting us against each other.
Yeah, no.
Okay, that's their design. Divide and conquer.
The biggest issue in America is classism.
Oh yeah, man. Oh,
everything else is just distractions.
Yeah.
Which not to say they're not real issues, but they're distractions from the big issue.
Well, they use our own media to manipulating us into thinking those are the most important issues.
Yeah.
And that we are so divided on these issues. When in reality, every person you talk to in the real world has a pretty common sense opinion on most things.
Yeah.
You're going to differentiate on a few granular things, but you're not going to be like screaming at each other.
Yeah,
about it.
everyone thinks like the political spectrum is just like a straight line. Like this is far left, this is far right.
No.
It's a circle. These two people are so much closer to each other than anyone realizes.
Yeah.
Like you ask a far left person, like super far left and a super far right person, it's like, oh, y'all both hate government. You both want to live on your own property. You both want to grow your own food. And they're both like, yeah. And then you're like, and trans people. And then they're like, and now here we go.
But that same person who's like, talking about they're closer, that same person who's like, oh, this trans thing, I don't know. Or whatever the hot button issue is, that's also the person who's like, I believe we live in a free country where you do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you guys are kind of the same. Like,
they're exactly the same.
You got to, you don't get each other, but you could find a way to respect each other and live where you're not bothering each other.
Yeah.
And that's all it really is, right? It's like, yeah, it's weird. I don't get it, but it doesn't seem to really affect my day that much.
Yeah. And my thing with like all issues like that, it's like, you don't have to get it.
No.
So many things make me uncomfortable every day. but it doesn't bother me.
Right. And then I think the flip side is whatever that is, you being okay going like, yeah, I know it makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They don't have to be comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and
fine.
you should be okay being a little uncomfortable every day.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I know that there's going to be things I do that people don't like, but I'm not gonna make you deal with that as long as you're not mad that I do those things either.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be fine. Like what are the odds you're going to love 100%? It's like my wife, the love of my life. We don't even agree 100%. How the heck are all these strangers going to do it? So
yeah.
I think that's the thing is going like, hey, there's a way for us all to just like be cool and not worry about it and not. We know when we cross the line, let's reel it back.
Yeah.
And then these fucking, just corporations, politicians. That's what the revolt has to be against.
100%.
And just saying like, why the fuck are you worth hundreds of millions of dollars when you're supposed to be fixing my potholes?
Yeah.
And then corporations like, hey, making 1,000% more than your employee, not going to happen anymore. All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna that would be the one time I think I would be more prone to destruction. Would be like if we did burn down a warehouse of some company or something, and nobody was in it, nobody got hurt, just to like send the message of like we're not paying that anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know. But then again, I hate saying that out loud because now if like a warehouse burns down, it's like go talk to that guy.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this.
Yeah. No, it's not, I mean, fairness aside, it's just not humane.
Right. Yeah.
If you're running a company, like the people that are building that, because you're not in that warehouse every day packing shit up, setting it out. They're the people that are making you rich. Have a little sympathy, Well,
it's similar, like, you don't have to say too much, but it's similar in the comedy world. There are places that pay you better than other places.
Yeah.
When sets come up at the places that pay better, you're probably a lot more excited about working there.
100%.
Right?
Yeah. And sometimes even the places like that I know maybe pay a little less, but they're just great places to work at. That's also exciting. But if you have a shitty place that also doesn't pay well,
and we know you're making money.
Yeah. Then that's where you're like, I don't even want to fucking do this weekend,
Right. Yeah, it's interesting, man, how just treating people well will motivate them.
Yeah.
Just showing them like how good it could be, and they'll be like, damn, maybe that good? Well, maybe I'll work a little harder.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm an optimist. I think that there's plenty of those people out there. It's just about making sure that they don't get so negative that they never, like they have to become the people that do it. Like even amongst the comedy scene, it's like now that you've been in it a few years, you see it's like there are people who go out of their way to make some cool things happen, and maybe they're breaking even, maybe they're even losing money, but it's like those things are so important because it's what kind of excites you to keep doing more.
Yeah.
It's like the independent shows that are really good, those types of things. Like I remember when you were doing your Anne French show that you had some of the most fun marketing for that, where you were making videos with all your friends.
Yeah.
And it's like none of them really benefited a lot from doing that.
No.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
It was creative. You guys all got excited. And then the show sold a lot of tickets.
Yeah.
And it worked. And, you could tell somebody, I'm not getting anything out of this really. I'm not going to work too hard on it. But the fact that they all kind of committed for you to do it, you all benefited from that in the end, but it just didn't seem like it on the front side.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think people, when they see that, they go harder for it. But you've had that mentality. Like I remember seeing you barking at DCC,
Yeah.
which not many people do.
Yeah.
They think that's not a place you can do that at, and it was working.
Yeah, no, go outside, grab some people.
Full circle. That was on a Gerard Carmichael. You were performing after his show, weren't you?
Oh, this was you talking about recently?
No, I think this is maybe a year or two ago.
Okay, so this is what's crazy.
I think Gerard Carmichael dropped in, and you had a show in the small room, maybe, or a show in the big room after him, or something.
Yeah,
right.
It was like same time.
Okay.
So both times that Gerard Carmichael has performed at Dallas Comedy Club, I've been doing a show in the small room, like pretty much at the same time. A show that I'm filming 4 clips, and
What
it
are
just
the odds
so
of that?
happened that it just so happened that that's what happened both times.
Wow.
And both times I went outside and barked to grab people because we didn't sell a lot of tickets, and I was like, "We're recording this. We need an audience."
Yeah. Wow. That's weird.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that makes you think we're in a simulation.
Right.
Were you having success with those clip shows? Were y'all pulling clips out that you liked?
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah.
Why do you think they weren't working?
didn't have any audience. The last time I did one of those, I'm trying to think, I sold maybe 2 tickets.
Really?
Yeah, like that's it. And I
thought that first one that I saw you pulled in people into that room.
I was able to pull in a couple.
Okay.
I got some clips out of that one. But this last one, I sold 2 tickets. It wasn't good. I had a couple people on the lineup before me, and I ended up just going out into Deep Ellum, running around looking for people. Because I remember, again, Kenny that works at Dallas Comedy Club, I ended up walking up to him and being like, hey, man, I'm filming this. I'm already paying the guy to record. Like, either way, I have to pay him to record.
Yeah,
he's already here. He's doing the job. Even if there's no one in the audience, he has to get paid. I'm already losing money on this show. Can I just go out and tell people the show is free? And Kenny was like, yeah, go ahead. So I went out there, and I found this like group of like frat boys. It was like 10 or 15 of them. And I was like, what are y'all doing right now? And they're like, we're about to go do this thing. I was like, cancel it. I was like, come see this stand-up comedy show. And they're like, really, right now? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, how much are tickets? I was like, free. I was like, just come, just follow me. And they're like, all right, what do we need? I was like, nothing. Just walk with me. And we walk in, and the door guy is there. And I was like, don't even check their IDs. They're all good. Just they're with me. And so like I'm ushering them all in. And one of the girls that works there that checks tickets, she saw me just like funneling him in the door. And she's like, CAIN, I need to see all their tickets. And I was like, don't worry about it. They're here for the show.
You don't need to see nothing. I talked to Kenny.
Yeah. Eventually Kenny did come out, and he was like, he's fine. Like he got it approved. And so, like, I ended up having them, like, as an audience, but, like, it's like one of those things like you're talking about with, like, Lawrence's show. Like, they didn't come to see me.
Yeah, that's tough.
They were just there because, like, some crazy dude walked up to him and was like, yo, I want to come see a free comedy show. So, like, they were laughing a little bit, but not worthy of, like, recording, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, yeah, I don't feel like I got any clips out of that. But it was still the experience of, like, not only just, like, doing it, but, like, also the club seeing, like, all right, this motherfucker's hustling, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like, people think that stuff doesn't matter as a waste, but people notice.
Yeah.
People notice, and it helps you out. Maybe that's what helps you get a Brian Simpson opening spot.
Right.
You know, I don't know. But also just the life experience, man. I was in a band a long time ago, and we hustled that way with CDs, trying to, hey, listen to this, buy this, blah, blah, blah. And you just learn so much about yourself, about what you're able to kind of accomplish by stepping out of those comfort zones. But why do you think you struggle to sell tickets to that?
I don't know. I don't know how to sell tickets.
Yeah, but when you did your Ann Friends show and then the show coming up, I think you're probably going to be able to move tickets fine for those.
I do the same things for every show. Sometimes they just don't sell.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Weird night of the week or something?
It was a Friday night at 7.
Damn.
Like that's a decent spot, you know?
Yeah.
I don't honestly, like, I've produced shows before. I've done, my own shows. I have only ever, like, maybe 2 or 3 times have booked a comic that actually, like, had people out to specifically see them.
Yeah.
You know, like, there's really no one in Dallas that I'm like, oh, they have a fan base that, like, if you book them, guaranteed there are, like, 10 people coming to see them. You know, like, it's moving tickets is so weird at, like, this level. And unfortunately, like we were talking about, like, everything being a business, this whole industry is just who can sell tickets.
Sure.
It doesn't matter to an extent, how funny you actually are.
Yeah, I think locally part of the problem with that is that we lack a little bit of infrastructure for comics. And I think that there are people slowly building some of those things up. Like, I think over the next couple years, there's going to be some resources here. Little things that you don't think about. Like, I think we're getting more people involved with documenting shows.
Yeah.
People like Comedia, for instance, headshots, things like that that help get you guys these tools to promote your shows better. I think things like that are coming in. This new club I think is going to help a lot. But I think that's part of the problem is you guys on a lower level, entry level, are struggling to build your fan base because maybe there aren't a lot of tools there for you to use.
I mean, people in Dallas don't even know, like, what a great Dallas scene of comedy that there is.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm aware. Like, when people find out I do the podcast, they're like, that's one of their first questions. You know, there's comedy clubs in Dallas.
Yeah,
there's a shitload.
There's way more in Dallas than there are pretty much anywhere else.
Yeah, and then
and the level of comedians here are, you know, I think they blow other cities out the water.
Yeah, and I think given more of that infrastructure where people can try to make moves. I mean, that's what we're hoping to do with Pazvar. Is we're hoping this special when it's released is something that you know, he's using to now start getting, you know, real headlining work in other states.
Yeah.
You know, this thing that he can use as a tool. And I just think that's all some of these comics need. Or, you know, it doesn't even have to be with me, just ways to get those things out there. Like, you know, Mikey B released his, Parker Slavens. There's been a lot of releases over the last couple of years now. And I think that's going to do a lot for the whole scene where people are going like, there's another one out of DFW, another one out of DFW. And then I think it'll start picking up with locals, hopefully. But because I don't buy into the people that say like Dallas people won't go to comedy. I think they still just don't know it's an option.
Yeah,
that's all. I think, you know, those frat guys, they were like, sure, and that might have been their first comedy experience. And so who knows? Now maybe they're checking out comedy shows.
Yeah,
I don't know. Or you ruined it, and they were like, "We'll never go watch another one."
That's fine too. You know, they came to mind. That's all that counts.
All right, man. Well, I took up enough of your time. January 11th,
Addison Improv. Yes,
headlining. Really excited for you. Do you know who else is on the lineup with you yet?
Jaime Garcia will be hosting, and Sataria will be coming in town to feature.
There you go. Great set, man. Well, I'm definitely gonna make it out to that one. That's gonna be a fun one.
That'd be great.
I'll see you there. Anything else you want to? This will be out next week.
That's it. Come to my show and follow me on Instagram.
Easiest way to get tickets, I guess, is Improv website.
Yeah, if you go to improvtexas.com, or you just go to my Instagram and click the link in the bio.
Just DM CAIN.
DM me. I'll write you back. I'm not. Anyone that DMs me, I have wrote them back at least a little bit.
There you go.
So. Yeah.
Buy tickets January 11th. Get out there. Dude, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it.
The I'm a Fan of podcast, music, comedy, and more.